With just one question, she had the internet hooked.
It's Who the F Did I Marry? And it was like 53 parts. Each video is 10 minutes long. Guess who watched 1 through 53? Me.
Reesa Teesa is in the building. How you doing, Reesa Teesa?
I'm good. Thank you guys for inviting me.
So the name of the book is What the F Do I Do Now?
Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that this is how people were introduced to me. But now in this book is how I'm really trying to get the audience to get to know me.
Let's catch them up to speed with that story though, real quick.
What had happened was I decided to tell a story about an experience I had, a relationship I had, where I went in order of how I met, how I dated, married, and divorced my ex-husband, who I believe to be a pathological liar. He said everything a 35-year-old woman whose biological clock is going off like a tornado alarm wanted to hear. It was intoxicating. And I think that it caused me to start fantasizing and to start looking at potential versus paying attention to the reality of what was going on. I believed it. I wanted to believe it. And so I ignored red flags that were popping up everywhere.
Did he have like a lot of friends that you were able to meet?
Some turned out to be absolutely fictitious.
You made fake friends?
He made fake family members, fake friends. Yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
How did you find out?
I became an FBI inspector. I learned how to use reverse Google image search.
Yeah.
The same car he had sent me, Google Images. A house he had sent me, Google Images. So everything that he said, this is from my life in California, I was able to find on Google Images. And that's how I found out everything was fabricated.
In the first episode, you took accountability and said, I know, y'all gonna say I'm stupid. I was. I wanna go back to that moment of releasing that to the world. Why did you do that?
What started as a search for understanding became a journey of transformation. Every letter that I wrote led me to this day, the day I got married.
November the 22nd, 2025. Dear my forever.
Forever is a long time. That's how long I'll love you. Those lyrics echo through every fiber of my soul at the very thought of you.
This journey has culminated with you as both the award and the reward of my pursuit of love. You are the award, the honor God placed before me, the recognition of growth, healing, and becoming the man I needed to be.
And you are the reward, the blessing given after endurance, the gift promised to those who refuse to faint.
This isn't just our story. This is for all of us. I'm Laterras R. Whitfield.
And I'm Ashley R. Whitfield.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Laterras R. Whitfield.
And I'm Ashley R. Whitfield.
Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, come on, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Y'all know that the mission of the Dear Future Wifey podcast is to increase marriage rates in the Black community
and to decrease divorce statistics
while providing tools so that we can learn to do relationships a whole lot better. And each guest that we curate for these conversations is meant to give you knowledge, give you insight, to give you wisdom, to teach you what not to do or to teach you some things to do. And so subscribing to Dear Future Wifey podcast is building a community of love scholars so that we can do this thing a whole lot better. Now, today's guest, I've been wanting to have this guest on the podcast since 2024 when she took the world by storm. So without further ado, welcome to Dear Future Wifey podcast, our homies, Tareasa Johnson, AKA Reesa Teesa is in the building. How you doing, Reesa Teesa?
I'm good. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Should I call you Reesa Teesa or Tareasa?
You can call whichever comes out.
I'm gonna say Reesa Teesa.
Okay.
I start saying Tareasa, they're like, who is that? So if I say Reesa Teesa,
Yeah.
then they're gonna be like, oh, that's my girl. That's my girl right there.
Yeah.
So Reesa Teesa, you're here. You have a book that is dropping. It dropped yesterday. This episode is gonna drop on the 19th of August, and your book would have officially dropped on August the 18th.
Yeah.
How do you feel about writing your first book? And I say first because there's gonna be some more coming.
I am proud that I wrote first book, it is emotional. It is very, very, very emotional. Emotional in a way that surprises me. And I say that because it's very different doing a 50-part series on TikTok, holding a phone up. It's another thing to write out the thoughts, the feelings, the fears, all of those things into a book. And I did the audio for the book too. So it's another thing to actually say those things out loud. So it's an emotional chapter in my life, but it's one that I'm really proud of myself for different reasons. But yeah.
So the name of the book is What the F Do I Do Now?
Mm-hmm.
And that was inspired from the TikTok series, Who the F Did I Marry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That series was a 50-part series, garnered 400 million plus views, and it was a combined 8 hours series. So you had people locked in. I remember calling friends and stuff, and I'd be like, hey, what's going on? They're like, I got to call you back.
Mm-hmm.
Reesa Teesa just dropped a new installment. I was like, Reesa Teesa, is that a new Netflix documentary or series or whatever? For people that don't know, they don't even know what I'm talking about. They don't know about who the F did I marry. They don't even know what TikTok is because a lot of them don't even have TikTok. What would you say happened February of 2024 that created this series? Who the F did I marry?
2020.
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what had happened was I decided to tell a story about an experience I had, a relationship I had, where I went in order of how I met, how I dated, married, and divorced my ex-husband, who I believe to be a pathological liar. And I talk about how everything started, how I built this whole house of cards and fantasy of what things were going to be like, the ways that he lied to me, how he lied, and then just how everything came crumbling down. And that's the reason why it's 50 parts, because I did part 1 all the way to part 50. And I recorded it myself. I just held the phone up talking to the audience as if I was on FaceTime with a homegirl, because that's the easiest way for me to express what was going on. I met him during COVID. So this did take place in 2020, 2021, but I finally told this story in 2024. So it took about 3 years to get to a place where I was willing to publicly tell the story. Obviously, people in my life knew what had happened, but saying it out loud to millions of people was not on my bingo card because I really did not think people were going to watch it.
How many followers did you have at that time?
I had 8,000. Had 8,000 followers. And I really thought because it was so long, people weren't going to watch it. Like they were probably going to tell, their friends or family. I did not expect for it to blow up the way it did, because typically with TikTok, people only watch about 30 seconds.
Yep.
And so I was very honest about the experience that I had, the marriage I had, the things I believe, the United Nations of red flags, as I called them,
which I love that,
which I ignored, and the pitfalls of it. And so when you go viral, the world kind of sees you as like a caricature. And so it was a little difficult to kind of get out of that space where there's so much more to me than who the F did I marry. I'm grateful that this is how people were introduced to me. But now in this book is how I'm really trying to get the audience to get to know me. Because there is, this story happened when I was 35. There's still 34 years that happened before, all of this that led to that. So in a nutshell, that is what happened with Who the F Did I Marry.
All right, so give a crash course so that people can really see who you are. Let's catch them up to speed with that story, though, real quick. You met the guy in 2020. Y'all connected on 2 different dating sites, but he had 2 different profiles. And so, but somehow y'all connected on both of them.
Right.
Pick up from there.
So we ended up going out on our first date. He played a song by John Legend called A Good Night, which is a song John Legend wrote about the night he met his wife. So I was like, oh my God, this is meant to be. My tire blew on the way to the date. He fixed it. So I thought he was a knight in shining armor. So we went on a date. Then COVID happened. Obviously, everything got shut down. We decided to quarantine together.
So give us dates on this, since you say you really big about dates.
We met March of 2020. We moved in together, quarantining the end of March, beginning of April. And yes, I'm very transparent. I got pregnant very quickly. So I got pregnant in April. We got engaged because I was pregnant in May. This is all still 2020. Going through, looking for houses, trying to buy new cars. I ended up having a miscarriage in June and July. And the reason why I say June and July is because July had to have a DNC, which is a surgical procedure. And so
definitely sorry to hear that.
Went through, what's interesting? I used to be really, really sad it happened.
But now you feel relieved.
And now I'm like, God, I get it.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that. But then I'm also like, life would have been, oh my God. Yeah, it happened for a reason.
Let me back up before that, because you shared some stuff in our pre-interview where you had this list of things that you desired that he fit. What was on that list? So the list that I desired, I wanted a guy who was grounded in the church. I really did want to meet someone who didn't have kids already. He did not have kids. He apparently grew up in the church. I wanted someone who was intentional about dating and intentional about marriage, because of course that's what we're told, you should want. He was very intentional about dating and leading to marriage. He absolutely had a future mapped out, and he was able to communicate that very clearly to me. And it's like I told you, he said everything a 35-year-old woman whose biological clock is going off like a tornado alarm wanted to hear. And so I interpreted that as, oh my God, this is what I've been praying for. This is exactly what I've been asking God for. I want someone who is serious about me, who doesn't play about me. Yeah. And here comes this guy who's 6'4", no kids, funny, very charismatic, and told me from day one, I'm looking to get married. So I'm not trying to date around. I'm not trying to play the field. If that's what you want, I'm not the guy for you. It was like Uno reverse of what we as women, have experienced. And so I really was like, okay, I got to hurry up and get on the wife mom train. I got to, because again, I'm 35. And so first mistake, COVID happens. And instead of using the technology of FaceTime and phones, I was like, well, we want to still see each other. Maybe we should quarantine together. That was your suggestion.
That was. And I thought quarantine was going to be 2 weeks.
Oh.
No. And so
y'all lived in the same city.
We lived in Metro Atlanta, not the same city. It was about, with Atlanta traffic, everything's an hour, but it was about an hour and 15 minutes. Nothing that could not be done.
Yeah, by driving.
Nothing that couldn't be done. It was just a matter of, some of it probably is lust, and some of it is also impatient, and you want what you want. Yeah, you want it now. And we ended up moving in, shacking up together. And we did. And it was the perfect storm for the avalanche of everything that happened.
So when he moved in, did he start helping pay the bills, or did y'all split the bills, or what was the agreement? At first, so there really wasn't much of an agreement. He simply moved in and took over. Okay. Took over in a way that I had never experienced a man that is a provider, because that's what I interpreted it to be, was that he was providing. I was paying all my bills on time. I paid them on time sometimes. They were all paid. I was doing okay. I didn't really have money for hair, toes, and nails, but I was okay. Nothing was shut off. So here he comes and he's like, well, how much is the electric bill? Boom, here you go. How much is the water bill? Here you go. Let's sit down. It was him that was like, let's sit down and figure out what all the bills are, where we can cut back, what I can take over. And in my mind, I was like, oh, so this is what a head of house. Yeah, he's showing up as a husband. Right. And that's exactly what he did. He paid all the bills to the point where I could breathe. And I had never experienced that.
I had never experienced a time in my life as a grown woman where I was able to financially breathe. And if I want to go get a pedicure, I don't have to figure out, okay, I'm going to take from Peter and pay Paul.
Yeah.
And I will admit it was intoxicating to be able to breathe. And I think that it caused me to start fantasizing and to start looking at potential versus paying attention to the reality of what was going on. The fact that, yeah, he's paying all these bills. I never really questioned. So how much do you make at your job? Like I didn't want to rock the boat because I really felt like I was so close to my end game goal, which was marriage.
Yeah.
My singular focus goal was to get my last name changed. I wanted to break that statistical, I'm an only child. I grew up on welfare with my mom was on welfare. And I really wanted the Cosby Show life. Yeah. I wanted Heathcliff and Claire Huxtable. Yeah. Why can't I have that? And so I was so close. It's like you're 35. You're at that year where your doctor is telling you, okay, if you're gonna have kids,
have them now.
Yeah,
have them now.
Yeah.
And here's a guy who's like, I want to marry you, and I'm providing for you. I want to buy a house for you. I want to buy a car for you because I want our kids to be in a safer car. I believed it.
Wow.
I wanted to believe it. And I thought it was going to be my turn. And so I ignored red flags that were popping up everywhere. Not once did I didn't even seek God. I didn't seek God until I needed him to.
So give me the first red flag. The first one I would say about going under two different names on the dating site. Was that the first red flag that you noticed? Or you just thought, what did he say about having?
So the thing about the names, and I'll give you an example because I don't really want to release his legal name. Yeah. So you have Mike and Michael.
Okay.
Right? Mike is just a variation of Michael. Yeah. That's what he did.
Okay.
So it wasn't like completely Tom and Jerry. Yeah. It was a variation. So in his mind, he was like, what's the big deal? It's two different sites. Some people call me Mike, some people call me Michael, as an example.
Yeah.
And so again, I was like, well, that's not really a big deal. And I started to say it's not really a big deal way too many times. But that was the first. It's not a big deal. My tire blowing on the way to the first date, people were like, that was a clue. I didn't think it was a clue. I really thought because he came, he changed my tire. He then took me to get a new tire. I honestly thought, oh my God, thank you so much for not leaving me hanging. Like not leaving me on the side of 285. Right. Thank you. Like it was more of a place of gratefulness than it was, I think I need to go back home.
Yeah, because I wouldn't take that as a red flag, but when you see the whole full story, then you go, well, God was trying to stop me.
He really was.
But in the moment, it's like, oh, this man is showing up chivalrous. Yeah. So it's like, I don't make everything a red flag, but it is one of those things that he showed up because your tire could have blew out. And then he said, oh, maybe we need to change the date.
And he didn't do that.
Exactly. So it's like, no, it's good that he did show up.
And then wait, but going back, why would that be a red flag for people who don't know about changing a tire?
I don't think that the changing the tire was a red flag. I think it's the fact that the tire blew on the way to your first encounter with him. As if that was like the Holy Spirit saying, whoa, flag on the play. Yeah, we interrupt this program. No, boo. And I didn't take I took it as, no, I'm on my way.
Trying to block me.
The devil's trying to block my blessing. Because that man said, drop me your pen and I'm on my way to you. Yeah. And I was grateful. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it seems weird to say that, but that was really how I felt in that moment at that time. And then once we started looking at houses, that's when it was like, okay, something's not right. But then I started second guessing myself. Like, are you that messed up that you can't tell you got a good black man? Savannah.
I want you to share what you said about the houses.
So the very, very first house was in a city called Douglasville. That house I knew nothing about. Like he was handling everything. We had a realtor who did a FaceTime tour of the house because of COVID. So we did not physically go into the house. And he claimed he had put an offer in. I didn't see it. That's important. I didn't see it. And so he kept telling me over and over again, the offer was accepted. He should be closing. They were going to do a virtual closing. Again, this is COVID. And so he took me to go look at appliances and furniture and paid a deposit in front of me for the furniture. So what I'm seeing is not really matching up with the fact that nothing is moving in terms of, so when do you close? Like, should I start packing up the house? And he was like, no, just hold off. Like, I'm still waiting on a closing date. I'm still waiting on a closing date.
And he said he's going to make a cash. He's going to.
No, this is the very first house.
Okay,
so this is before we get to that point. And so I find out I'm pregnant. And I said in the series, and I said it in the prayer closet, I said, I looked up the house, saw that the house was under contract. So I initially thought, oh my God, okay, we're moving. I love this house.
It was y'all contract.
I thought it was our contract.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything. He kept saying, I'm waiting on a closing date. I'm waiting on a closing date. So about a few weeks later, I saw the house was sold. But he had never mentioned I closed. So I called the realtor and I just said, I said, you know, I was really looking at this house and I really liked it. I was wondering, because now it's saying it's sold. A few weeks ago, it said it was available. And she said, yeah, the house just sold. And the realtor was basically saying, you know, the couple has closed on it. And that let me know it wasn't him. That's how I found out he did not buy that house. And so I remember, because I have audio diaries, I recorded myself saying he's going to have to lie his way out of it. I was pregnant. And this is the moment I admit I compromised myself, because I said, I'm going to let him lie his way out of it. I'm going to let him lie his way out of it. I absolutely knew he was lying. I absolutely knew something did not go the way it was supposed to. What I believed was that his offer wasn't accepted, and he was ashamed to tell me. That's what I told myself. And I was pregnant. And so I said, he's going to have to lie his way out of it, and I'm going to let him. And sure enough, he came home from work and he said something about, I don't really like the interest rate on this house. Like, it's something about that interest rate. Our mortgage is going to go up after so many years. And I said, if you don't think we should get it, then we don't get it. And I said it just like that. And he was like, yeah, I think we should continue looking. And I said, okay. And I absolutely, as I was writing this book, realized that's the moment that you knew complicit. You became complicit. No, you didn't know how deep. Yeah. But you knew that there was a hole. Yeah. And because you weren't obedient, you weren't patient enough. You weren't, and I get it. I want to give myself grace, because I knew I was pregnant. I knew I was in a very, very emotional place where it's like, I am not about to be a baby mama, single mom. Yep. So if he need to lie, he gonna lie. Yeah. And I'm gonna be right there with him. Yep. But what I'm not about to do is have this baby by myself. Yep. That's the only grace I give myself when it came to that. And so he got out of the lie. I unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, had the miscarriage. And then we segued months later into actual houses where the situation was completely different. I had saw the paperwork that I believed to be true. The paperwork was he was approved for a mortgage with Chase. We were actually touring houses. So it wasn't like
he's telling you a
he's
story.
Just telling me, no, I'm literally walking through these homes with him. I literally watched him put in an offer, an all cash offer. I literally had the realtor on speakerphone who said, this is why the offer was declined.
What did he say he did for work?
So he said that he was a regional manager for a condiment company in Atlanta, and that he was going out for a VP position. He was brought to Atlanta from California to eventually become VP at the condiment company for like regional VP.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Say, because you said a condiment. It's like you picked a job or a sector or an industry that most people wouldn't even say.
Correct.
So he did work at a condiment
company.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to say that would be too creative.
And I never said the name of the condiment company, but I did see proof that he did in fact work at this condiment company. The thing that Hold me ask this other question. Was he from California? Subsequently, no. But the foundation story of what he told me when he first met me was I just moved to Georgia. I just transferred back to Georgia from California. I went to school in San Diego State, graduated. I was, married, got divorced, and now I'm moving back here. I grew up a little bit in Augusta, so I'm familiar with the Augusta area, but where we were living was Metro Atlanta. So he laid a foundation of stories long before I could ever even ask a question. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that I was like, so how you end up here? He had already answered. Yeah. So tell me about your family. He already answered. Yeah. So what's your background in? Already, like everything was a carefully laid foundation. Yep. And so when it came to the houses, it was just like, okay, you're involved because you're going to be my wife. This is going to be our home. We toured the houses. I watched him put in the offers. I understood why the offers were declined. It wasn't until the last house where he put in an all cash offer and the realtor called back and said, the buyers love your offer, but what they would like to see is the proof of funds that you have to pay for the house. Right. His response, no problem. I will send them everything they need once they actually accept the offer. The buyers were like, we'll accept the offer when we see his proof of funds. So it became, it became a tug of war. And I asked people around me, I said, is this normal? They were like, actually, yeah. Like, I wouldn't want to get into a bidding wars. And that's, sometimes what people do. And so that house fell through because it was the realtor that said, guys, at this point, I need you to show it to me. Show me your proof of funds. I'm your realtor. And he didn't do it. And so the realtor dropped us. And he was very adamant to me, like, well, the reason why I'm not showing you my account is because like we're not married yet. And when we're married is when we need to sit down and show each other all the accounts. And I didn't push it because all the bills were getting paid.
So y'all was trying to buy a house while y'all were engaged at this point.
Yes.
Y'all were engaged.
Was your name going to go on the house?
Yeah.
So your name could go on the house with him, but he wouldn't show you.
But he wouldn't show me his bank, his statements, his bank accounts. And then when he did show me one of his bank accounts, the way that he showed it to me, I'm just going to reenact it. He held the phone up as if he was using Face ID to open it, and then held it for a few seconds and then showed it to me, turned it around and showed it to me. And it was an actual bank account screenshot with a balance on it. But he had done it in such a way to where it looked like he was logging in. Yeah. It took a while for me to find out it was a screenshot. Yep. But because of how he did it, I thought he was logging in with Face ID, the same way he's watched me log in to Bank of America or Wells Fargo. And I'm like, here you go. So he was good.
Yeah, how did you find out it was a screenshot?
So we got married January. I want to say around April of 2021, I became an FBI CIA inspector. And I learned how to use reverse Google image search. Yep. And that's how every picture he has shown me where I was able to save it. Because obviously there was a lot that had happened that I talk about in a series where I ended up going through his phone. And that's how I got a lot of information so that I could send it to my phone and then research. Basically, what I found was the same picture on Google Images. The same car he had sent me, Google Images. A house he had sent me, Google Images. So everything that he said, this is from my life in California, I was able to find on Google Images, the Google image reverse. And that's how I found out everything was fabricated.
And did he have like a lot of friends that you were able to meet?
So he had a lot of friends he talked about.
Okay.
Physically meet, I've met 2. One in person, one on Zoom. And those were supposed to be his brothers. Found out they are not. Everyone he talked about as a friend, some turned out to be absolutely fictitious.
Dang.
And some
You made fake friends?
he made fake family members, fake
God,
friends. Yes.
dang.
Yeah.
Fake family members.
Fake family
So
members.
some of the friends turned out to be fictitious, and some of the friends turned out to be real, but they had not spoken to him in about 5 to 7 years.
And how did you find out who was fake and who was real?
So some of it was a little bit of process of elimination. And I had help because his family members, once he had gotten kicked out, had kind of helped to put certain pieces together. So there was a period of time where before our divorce was final, he kind of went missing. No one had heard from him. I hadn't heard from him because he was calling me about 6 times a day asking for money. But he had gone missing. And I reached out to everyone I could find on Facebook that I had heard about. Mm-hmm. And that's those who messaged me back basically were like, I haven't talked to him in like 5 years. He owes me money. Every single person I reached out to pretty much told me a story of how a bridge was burned. And so in the series, I talked about how I found out not a single person I reached out to cared whether or not he was alive or dead.
God, dog. Let's go back. Because we done got y'all married already. And I want to figure out how did y'all go from engaged, looking for houses, to getting married.
So the whole thing about getting married, back to the fact that he grew up in church.
Yep.
Always got to do this.
Yep.
He was very adamant that what we were doing was living in sin. And he did not.
He would say that to you.
Yes. And so what he said was, my uncles have been getting on me. Just for record, the uncles are dead.
Oh.
But he was saying my brother is getting on to me that we need to make this right. And so for me, I was like, I just want to get through the holidays. This was around October of 2020. And I said, I just want to get through the holidays. I don't want to look for a house. I don't want to look for a car. I just want to enjoy Christmas and Thanksgiving. And so he came to me in December and he said, enough is enough. The thing with COVID, getting married. So you would need to make an appointment to get your marriage license, your application. Then you would need to make an appointment to actually go to the courthouse and actually do the ceremony. So he came home from work randomly in December and was like, go ahead and make the appointment. He was like, I just got off the phone with my uncle. We need to do this. Like, we need to go ahead. You need to be my wife legally. And then in the new year, we will start looking for a house and we'll go ahead and do this right. That was him saying this to me. So it was everything I wanted. Yeah. It wasn't the wedding I wanted because of COVID. Yeah. But here he was saying, nah, I'm going to make you my wife. Yeah. Like, we're going to do this because we've been living together. We've been sharing bills. We lost a child together. Let's go ahead and let's do this so that God ain't looking at us like we're crazy. That's what he said.
So and backtracking a little bit, how did he propose?
The proposal. At the dinner table, he had taken me to the Mall of Georgia, and we went to a jewelry store, and I saw 3 rings that I loved. He said, "Just tell me which 3 you like the most. When I'm ready, it'll be one of the 3." Fast forward, we're sitting at the dinner table. I am pregnant. I need to put that in there. I am pregnant. But we're sitting at the table. This is May of 2020. And he takes the box out of his pocket, puts it on the table in front of me. I'm eating and I was like, what's that? He was like, open it. I open it. Inside is a ring. It is not one of the 3 rings I picked, by the way.
He says not one of the 3.
But inside is the ring. And I said, he was like, go ahead and put it on. Does it fit? So I put it on.
It fit. Lackluster proposal.
And he said, there you go.
God, no. He said, there you go.
He said, there you go. He's like, so now you can tell your family that we are engaged.
How did that make you feel?
I told myself I was never going to tell anybody that story. But you know, now it's okay to share it.
That wasn't in the TikTok series?
It is in the series, but it is not. It's in like an interlude because too many people had asked me, "Girl, how did he propose?" And I was like, I didn't really want to tell y'all because it was embarrassing. It wasn't. It was an embarrassing part to it. There was no romance. There was no "I love you."
Just checking off.
There was no down on one knee. It wasn't even a speech. It was like,
there you go.
Now you can tell your friends.
Yeah. Have at it.
There you go. All right. Because you have my baby anyway, you know. Yeah. So since you going to bug me about being a baby mama, here a ring. You know, that's what it felt like. It felt like a shut up. Like hush.
Yeah.
And
that was another flag, maybe.
The whole thing was a flag. At this point, we're in a bouquet of red flags. But yeah, it was. I was pregnant, and I did have a moment where I said to myself, "Okay, well, at least he still wants to marry me.
At least he
even
still
though
wants to marry me.
I'm pregnant." So here we go, and then everything happened from there.
So, y'all get married. How did that take place? Was it just a courthouse wedding? What was the wedding like?
It was a courthouse wedding. We got married in Cobb County, Georgia. Shout out to Cobb County.
That's
I did not
about Cobb, ain't it? What's it's a slogan like, you don't want something Cobb, you get it's something.
It's listen.
It's a slogan.
You don't really want to get stopped in Cobb. Yeah. That's they don't play. Yeah. We got married January 5th. I didn't tell anyone I was getting married because previously we were supposed to get married in September. He didn't come home in time for us to make the appointment. So I had told my family, told some friends, and then obviously I had to call and be like, well, he didn't make it, so we're going to reschedule. I didn't want to do that this time, so I kept it very hush. He came home. I wore a black and white striped shirt from Shein, some black pants. He wore a plaid shirt and some black jeans. And we went, we went to the courthouse. There was another couple getting married, and she wore white, and they had 3 kids. And so it was like a whole family affair. And we're sitting there waiting to be called. And I just remember looking around like, this is not what I dreamed of. Listen, to the people who know me, they will tell you, Tareasa has wanted a Broadway show type wedding since she was a little girl with a 15-foot train by Vera Wang and a big church with a center aisle and trumpets blaring as if she is Princess Diana.
And praise dancers dancing all around.
Yes, I want flowers thrown like it's coming to America.
Cirque du Soleil spinning from the thing.
And that is not what this was. So we got married. He had 2 rings. He had a gold ring and he had a black silicone ring because of his job. You know, I got him a black silicone and I brought the black ring. And so when we were exchanging rings, he had whispered, "You brought the wrong ring," because I didn't know. I remember getting teary-eyed because I was like, I really wish somebody was here. You know, someone. The judge said, you may kiss your bride. And we kissed. And I remember saying, "I love you." And he said, "I love you too." And we left. We went and got in the car because it's January, so it's cold. And we went and got wings and then went home.
I'm about to say I went to Waffle House.
We went through the drive-through on Georgia 85 in Clayton County at this wing place and got wings. And I had called my family and said, guess what? We did it. My mother was very, very relieved. Both of us were relieved, meaning he and I both were relieved. Like, okay, or at least we're not living in sin.
Yeah.
My mother was, I think, relieved because she's like, I didn't raise you to be living with a guy and y'all ain't married. Yep. So get it right with God. Yeah. My aunt was like, really? Okay. My best friend was like, for real? Like, am I on speakerphone? Okay, friend. I love you, girl. Take me on speakerphone.
Take me on speakerphone.
Girl, what? Yeah. And 2 days later, I went and changed my name.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did your family think about him?
My family would say we didn't dislike him, but there was something off. There was something, different ones saw different things. My aunt was like, he talks about money a lot. Like, it talks about
He got it.
He has money. He spent money. He's one of those guys, whatever you have done, he's done it probably 2 or 3 times. So if you had said, man, you know, I just won an Emmy for my podcast. Really? I remember, man, in high school for my radio show, I had won a Grammy. It was the best thing ever. Like, whatever you've done, he's done. And he'll say it in such a way that you're like, really?
You say, really?
Really? Like,
Is it believable?
It's almost like you want to say to him, man, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even whether it's believable or not. It's like, man, shut up. Ain't nobody talking about what you did in college for a radio show. Oh, man, I really want to get tickets to the Super Bowl. Man, I remember when I went to the Super Bowl, I went with my homeboy, and we had like the best seat.
We had a suite. We had a suite.
Suite, man.
$100,000.
Yes.
You'd be like, you got a suite at the
So
Super
he
Bowl?
always wanted to he would always one up. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather was like, I don't think that he was a football player. I don't think he was, because the stories that he used to play arena football. My best friend was like, if you like it, I love it. And we all know that is Black woman code for, okay, girl.
That is
They do hit you with that, don't they? If you like it, I love it. You better check whatever you got going on.
She was, all of them really thought it's Tareasa's turn.
Yeah.
So we're going to be happy for her.
Were they married?
My aunt was married. My best friend was engaged. My mom's never been married. And then obviously my grandfather is a widower, but he was married to my grandmother. And so they really were like, we wanted it to be your turn. Like, we were ready for, okay, bridal shower time, bachelorette time, helping you plan a wedding. Like, I think that my friends and family were genuinely happy that this is the moment. We've known she's wanted this since a little girl. And here's this guy who's telling us everything he's going to do to provide for her, to love her, to take care of her. And that's all we want, is for her to be taken care of and respected. And he absolutely played the role of, I got her. I got her. I'm going to take care of her. Y'all don't have to worry. And I think on some level, they did believe that. I believed it. So
were his parents in his life?
They were, but they are deceased.
Okay.
And for the record, I verified that they are deceased. They've been deceased for quite a few years, but they absolutely were in his life, married, and, you know, very much a pillar of his childhood. But from what I understand, the lying started as a kid, and it was never nipped in the bud, and it just grew and grew and grew. But it was, his parents were absolutely present.
So when y'all got married, y'all had this lackluster wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You had this lackluster proposal. Was there any moment where it was like, wow, I'm now truly feeling like I'm living a dream? Or was it just a continuous nightmare?
No, it wasn't a continuous nightmare. It felt like, when I got married, it absolutely felt like, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. It's not how I thought it was going to look.
Right.
But he's mine. I'm his. We're going to make this work. That was my attitude. We're going to make this work. We're going to figure it out. He tells little white lies. Because again, this is what I thought. I had not yet found proof until later on.
Right.
So he tells a white lie here and there. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Like, that's what was playing in my head. But he's mine.
Yeah.
And he's not perfect, but he's mine. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to be a good wife to him. And up until I started finding out more and more, he was a decent husband. Decent. I say decent because we got married January 5th, and by the 31st, I knew I was in trouble. So I really only had about 2 or 3 weeks of
bliss, wedded bliss.
Not even bliss, just settlement, being settled. A moment of, okay, this is what it's going to be. I'm now, my last name changed, and I did that so quickly because I was so, in a way, excited to be able to be like, child, I don't care how swollen this finger gets, this ring ain't coming off. Yeah. Like, I have a new last name. I was absolutely my husband, the my husband chick. I was her. Yeah. Let me check with my husband. Yeah. My husband laughs like that. Oh my God. My husband got those same shoes. I did that so much. And immediately after we got married, intimacy stopped.
Let me say
on
this.
On the 31st?
No.
Oh.
On the 5th. Immediately. Oh. And it took a minute for me to realize, how are we supposed, like, I remember saying to him, how are we supposed to have kids?
I said, how are we supposed to have kids? If your wife got to say that to you, something wrong.
We got to do the thing.
Right. Let me say this to you. It's interesting because Ashley, her name just changed. What was that? A week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So we finally did the paperwork, and I was just like, after 8 months. And I was like, all right, let's go ahead and do this because we about to, your passport's about to expire. Let's go ahead and just get it all done. And of course, she didn't want to do all that paperwork. So I took the lead and just started doing all that. I went and filed this. I got this. We went to LA, changed the driver's license name. I got the marriage certificate. Took it, got different copies of it, certified, went and just did all that. And she sat back just happy. You know what I'm saying? Changed the passport.
Because to me, I'm already Ashley Whitfield. Yeah. This other stuff is just what people look at. Right. But I changed like publicly on LinkedIn, on Facebook.
She changed that the day of.
No, like when we were walking down the aisle, I had my bridesmaid change it on all social media platforms. As like right before she walked down, because she was first, I was like, change it. Yeah. So then the world knew me as that, and the other stuff nobody sees except for like,
And see, my attitude was, so because of where I worked, I wanted my email changed.
Oh yeah.
I wanted a new license. I wanted to be able to introduce and shake hands and say, hi, I'm Tareasa, new last name. I wanted that. So it was a bit, even though, yes, you can, introduce yourself. For me, it was like, oh no, Sam's gonna know. Uncle Sam, he gonna know.
No, that's so true.
She ain't a Johnson no more. Okay, excuse me.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I got my passport.
Oh yeah, she got a passport. I said, we got real.
Yeah.
When we got the. No, your social security card.
That's when
because that's the first thing you got to change.
When the social came with that new last name, I was like, shoot.
That came a couple of weeks ago, and I said, because the mail came, and then I was like, your social came. She said, did you open it up? I said, no, I'm gonna let you open it up. Yeah. And she opened up and looked at it. I said, ooh, it's real now.
It's real.
I said, it done got real, because that's the first thing you have to change your social, and then you can get everything else.
You can change everything else.
And I was like, okay. All right, now let's go ahead and go get your driver's license. Now let's go and get your passport changed. And now let's get your Delta stuff.
He did have a moment, though, that was so sweet. He just stood there and he looked at it. Yeah. And it said, Ashley Raynell Whitfield.
Yeah. Oh, it messed me up. I'm about to get teary-eyed right now. Yeah. But it messed me up because it goes back to the biblical side of stuff. What's so amazing is that the first thing that God would do is change someone's name. You'll be Abram, and then you become Abraham. You go from Saul to Paul. So he would change your name because your original identity has to fall off for you to become one with him and become your new identity. And I always preach about being married to my purpose partner. And so before, from a legal standpoint, I was married to Ashley Woods, and she's still carrying her father's name. And then now it's like, oh, it's mine. And she could attest to it. I sleep less now at night because I'm working harder and I'm building legacy and I'm building it. She's like, what time did you go to bed last night? My mind is in a whole different level now. It's like, I got to work.
Because I'd be like, where you at? Yeah. I'm moving my leg.
3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting upstairs.
David Man said, move the leg.
I told y'all, get your leg, try to touch it. And I'm literally just working, like literally up. It's a different layer of husbandry that just dropped in my spirit because I was like, oh, she carries my name.
You know what's so funny? Okay, it's not funny. It's, wow. I remember how I would wake up and my ex-husband would just be walking around the house to make sure every door was locked, every window was locked. And I interpreted that as like, oh. Covering.
Yeah.
When in fact, butt naked, just bare didn't even know it. But okay. But I remember having a conversation with him about the last name. Does it matter? Do you care? Do you care if I change my last name? He was like, listen, it's important to me. And he was like, I don't know about these other dudes you done been with, but it's important to me that your last name is McCoy. And so I changed it. And this is the part where I can honestly say God is amazing in the things and in his timing. I changed my last name 2 days after I got married. Ended up getting divorced in August 2021. I kept that last name for 3 years. I kept the last name longer than obviously the marriage.
Wow.
And the reason why is because I almost treated it as, you remember how you would hear back in the day in like the medieval times, priests, when they would do something wrong, they would beat their backs. It's like self-flagellation or something. Yeah. That's how I treated it. Like, you made that bed. You need to always be reminded, Tareasa, that you stooped that low, that you did not, like, you ignored God so bad that this is who you married. Yeah, you're going to keep that last name. And every day you're going to have to sign it. Every day you're going to have to, introduce yourself to people as Tareasa McCoy. And when they're like, well, who's Mr. McCoy? You're going to have to explain that you're divorced. Like, it was a punishment.
Wow.
And deep. I carried it because we don't have kids. We didn't have property. I absolutely carried that name as a punishment to myself.
Did your therapist unpack that with you? Or you came to that knowledge?
Both. There was a therapist that was like, honey. And I said, no, that's how I feel. I feel like you knowingly made that bed. You may not have known how deep the hole was, but you knew that there was a hole and you still didn't walk away. Yeah, you're going to keep that name. And so that was a lot of guilt and embarrassment and shame. And it wasn't until January of 2024 that I woke up one day and I saw a TikTok that was basically like, if you and your husband are divorced, why do you still have his last name if y'all don't share anything? And I was like, my excuse was I didn't want to spend the money because I thought it was going to cost me a lot of money to change my name back. Reason being is because I didn't realize until my friend in the book I talk about, she said, check your divorce decree because it's probably in your divorce that you can go back to your maiden name.
Yep.
But if I didn't have that in there, I was going to have to put in the newspaper a notice that I was going to have to run for like 3 weeks that I was changing my name. There's a whole thing you have to do in Georgia. If it's not in the divorce decree. If it's not, you have to do a lot of stuff and pay a lot of money to go ahead and change your last name or change your name. Dang. And so I just was like, man, it's not even worth it. Like no one know, I would lie to myself and lie, just like it's no big deal. I'm just going to have to be a McCoy. But if I also knew if I ever wanted to have children, and if for whatever reason life happened and I had a child and I wasn't married, that child by Georgia law would have had that last name.
Yep.
And so there was all these different things going on. So in January is when I woke up and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to change it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to quietly do it. Because family and friends were like, girl, what? I'll loan you the money. What do you need?
For real.
And so they were all like, what's going on? So I made a decision in January. My friend told me in January, check your divorce decree. Check the divorce decree. It's in there. All I had to do was take the divorce decree to the Social Security office. It took 8 minutes. It took 8 minutes. And I remember sitting in the office looking at the clock while I was waiting for her to type everything up. And obviously for those who are like, what's the deal about 8? 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Yep.
So it took 8 minutes, got the social change. Then from there was able to get the new license. And then I was able to I was like, well, if I want to do a passport, I'll do a passport. My name got changed the end of January. Who the F Did I Marry went up February 14th.
Wow.
And there is I believe it with all my heart. There is no way that series would have been as successful if I still had his last name. I think people would have been like, why are you still holding on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me punishing myself, it was like, you know what? Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. And then within about 2 weeks, my name, my new name, because on TikTok, my name was T. McCoy. So I had to change it to Reesa Teesa. And then 2 weeks later, y'all heard about this girl on TikTok named Reesa Teesa? So that is how that happened.
That was interesting because when you said McCoy, it's so interesting because, of course, I always grew up with people saying the real McCoy. Mm-hmm. And here was somebody that was so inauthentic, but then had the last name, the McCoy. Yeah. And so I just did the research about what did that saying, the real McCoy, really mean? Mm-hmm. It's the genuine, authentic, or original article rather than a fake imitation or substitute. Yeah. And here he is with the name McCoy. And you carried that name, and God had to shed you from that so that he can take you back to your new identity and really show up as the real side of you, the most authentic, because that TikTok series was the most vulnerable, the most authentic, you like, here I am. Yeah. And I love in the first episode, you took accountability and said, I know y'all gonna say I'm stupid. Yeah. I was. You know, this is crazy, but I'm finna be real, raw, and transparent. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to that moment of releasing that to the world. Mm-hmm. Why did you do that? Mm-hmm.
I was ready. I was okay with owning it. Before then, I wasn't really in a place where I was okay to admit how badly I had gotten played, and how badly I had played myself.
But listen, that could just been inner work versus to say that publicly. Mm-hmm. What made you decide to say it publicly and not just keep it with your family and friends? The day before, so the series first part went up on February 14th. So this was the February 13th. Someone had posted a TikTok that said, "What's the most effed up thing your ex has ever done?" And I was sitting there and I was like, well, I got a story. So I did a stitch to that video, and I simply was talking about how he called me crying because his grandmother had passed away from COVID. And it was a really trying time, only for me to find out she had died in 2008. And from there, what happened was lying about everything.
My comment section was like, "What? Girl, you tell us from the beginning what happened." And there were so many comments of people who were like, "Tell your story. What happened? Like, we're ready. We're sad." And it took me by surprise because I really didn't think anybody would listen, anybody would care, anybody would pay attention. And that night I said, "You know what? Why not? Why not? Like, you ain't doing nothing else. Just go ahead and tell it." And what I made the decision on is how I was going to tell it. I said, I told myself I'm going to record it all and do it like an audiobook, because I saw that if you create a playlist, it'll go from 1 to 2 to 3, And I said, I'm going to do an introduction. And I said, and literally this is all within an hour the night before. I said, I'm going to do an introduction. I'm going to just talk while I'm getting ready for work, and we'll see what happens. If nothing else, this will be for me. I hope somebody will be like, "Man, I'm glad you said that. Like, it made me look at things differently." But I absolutely said to myself, only a few people are probably going to see it, but that's okay. And so the next day I woke up, a curler in my head, and I was just like, "All right. Hello. I know why you're here. You're here for what I'm calling Who the F Did I Marry?" And I just was like, let's go in order. And so then I get in the car, headed to work, because I had an hour and a half commute each way in Atlanta. Yeah. And so I had the camera mounted, and I was like, I'm going to just talk, because talking in the car turned out to be one of my ways of therapy. Yeah. That's where I would record most of my audio diaries. That's where sometimes I have the best conversations with friends, is when I'm sitting in Atlanta traffic and I'm able to just talk. And so I was like, So let's start from part 1. So I met my ex. And I remember doing it. I was like, I met him around March 4th because I was on like not vacation, but I was off from Amazon as a part-time job. And so I was like, I met him March 4th and just went from there.
You just talked throughout the whole day?
Well, I did it over 3 days. So yeah. I talked.
Did you know it's going to be, did you have in your mind it's going to be 50 or it just turned out to be 50?
It turned out to be 50. And it turned out to be 50 because some stuff was cut. Some stuff I was not going to talk about.
So you edited stuff out?
I just didn't talk about it. Nothing. Okay. So none of the videos are edited. Those videos are actually me record, upload, because I was losing memory on the phone. So I would have to upload and then record the next part, upload, because it was taking up memory. So nothing was edited out. I simply was like, I'm not going to even touch that. There were certain things I was not going to touch. And it got to a point once his identity was released, which was part 44, because I talk about it in there. I said, okay, you need, Tareasa, you need to bring this to a close. Like, it could easily have been 75 to 100 parts.
You called him Legion, which was so powerful and profound, and people that may not be into the Bible would not know why. That's crazy. When I put Legion in, it puts his real name up. That's crazy. But I'm trying to find in the scripture where it talks about Legion. Why did you name the character Legion?
So his nickname of Legion came from once I discovered how diabolical and how deep the lies went and how many just different demons I felt like I was dealing with. How many different demons I felt like were in my home. Yep. I remember the story of, Jesus casting the demons out and they jumped into the pigs. Yep. And I remember the story of where he was like, who are you? And it said, we are many. Yep. We are legion. And I was like, because I remember telling my mom, there's so many.
Let me take them to that scripture. It was Mark 5:9. It says, then Jesus asked him, what is your name? And he says, my name is Legion. He replied, for we are many. As in Mark 5:9. And that's when Jesus was casting out the demon. And then when he cast him out, he went into the pigs and they ran into to sea. Yeah. Because it was so many. At first I used to say there's so many personalities, but I was like, no, this is some demonic stuff I had in my home. And as someone who grew up in the church, I used to always think of demonic as extremely scary and monsters. Yeah. And what I had to really kind of wrestle with was that the devil, and again, I promise y'all, it's in the book, but I talk about how the devil has different tactics. He is not going to come at you scary. Nope. He's going to come at you beautiful, charming. He's going to know exactly what to say and how to play you. Yep. And the scary part for me was realizing that that's what happened. He's come at me different ways, but this particular tactic worked because he came at the right time in the right form, and it wasn't scary at all. And so when I talk about, man, there was so much demonicness going on in my house, it's because when I started peeling back layers of uncovering what he had lied about, what I said on, I believe it was Good Morning America, is true. The only thing I could prove was his name and date of birth. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing I could prove. What is on our marriage license application is not true. Huh? But it's not grounds.
But I thought you said that's what you can prove is his date of birth. He would have to submit that for your license.
On the marriage license, he also had to put how many previous marriages and his social.
He lied about his social security
number. His social was wrong. And so in this series, God, so I'm gonna just say this to your audience, because there's somebody watching this that's like, he didn't watch the series, y'all.
Yeah, I did. Listen, hold on. We talked about that. Put the camera on me. When that came out in 2014, y'all got to think, 2024, I was doing Dear Future Wifey, and I was editing all my episodes by myself. I was doing all the editing. I would spend the night in my studio. I would edit it. and put every episode, every reel out, every graphic out, all that. And so that's why I think I said at the very beginning is that I would call people and be like, hey, and I'll be trying to talk to people and they'd be like, I got to talk to you later. I got to watch Reesa Teesa. And I was like, what in the world is that? So then I went to TikTok to watch it and I was like, I'm behind.
So in the series, I do talk about how I found out about the social. In a nutshell, so I do still have my 9 to 5, but the
Which
job,
is what?
I'm an executive assistant.
Okay.
I know. It's so hard. But so the job that I was in when I met him, I worked at Georgia State Patrol. I don't work there no more, so I say it.
Okay.
The new job, I don't talk about it. But so in this job, I had to do, because it's law enforcement, I had to do a background check, which is typical. The background packet asked for my social, asked for all my information, but it also asked for my spouse's information. And so when I went to him, I was like, listen, I'm up for this really, really good job. It's more money, yada, yada, whoop-de-whoop. Can you give me your social? He gave it to me. Something in me was like, that looked different than what was on our, mind you, this is
you a different one.
This is April, May. Mm-hmm. We got married in January, which means the application would have been filled out in December. He simply forgot what he had lied about.
Yeah, back in.
But I still had the paperwork in my email. So I was like, I compared the two and I saw that the last 4 numbers were transposed. So instead of it being 1, 2, 3, 4, it was like 4, 3, 2, 1. It was a simple difference.
And you called it.
But it matters. And so when I turned in the background stuff to the job, I was like, let me go ahead and look at this social and start pulling background reports and credit reports. And eventually that's how the whole house of cards came down. But yeah, everything, what I can prove.
So had it not been for that job, you would still been kind of trying to connect the dots.
I think it would have taken longer. Yeah, it absolutely would have taken longer because by that point I was paranoid. By that point, I was not sleeping. I had no peace whatsoever. Like there was so much chaos in my home because I knew something was wrong. And I'm one of those people, when I get frustrated, I will burst into tears and then I'm going to straighten my wig and I'm gonna handle it. So I was in the frame of mind of something's not right. What am I missing? And so finally, unfortunately, is when I got on my knees and I was like, God, what am I missing?
But you see how God gave you a ram in the bush? Mm-hmm. The job, like it's the job that he was blessing you with that helped uncover all of that. Yeah. It's like, that's the reason why I love the omniscience of God. Mm-hmm. That God said she has no idea. None. But it's because of this. Because most jobs don't ask for your spouse's social security number.
They don't.
It's
they
just
usually just ask for yours.
It's just the job you worked for that required that. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, God in all his omniscience knew that you would apply for a job that would require that in order for you to get the job. And then that gave you all the full knowledge.
And that literally is what led to the first background check. And when I had ran the background on the previous social, nothing came back. And I took it as, okay,
everything's good.
Everything's good.
You just lie too much.
And so when I looked at the new one, when I tell you I spent hundreds of dollars on backgrounds because I would compare the different backgrounds because nothing was making sense compared to what he had told me. Because again, the story is, I lived in California. I bought a house in California. I moved here. I went to San Diego State. Backgrounds were like, girl, we don't know what he's talking about. We don't show anything with California. And so one of the backgrounds showed that he lived in a different county in Georgia. And I was like, he never mentioned this county. And something in me said, because I used to work in open records, something in me said, go to the county and type in his name. You can do it on their open records. And that's how I found out they're the second wife. And that's what made me, in the series, I talk about how on my lunch break, I said, I'll be back. And I drove an hour and 15 minutes to the courthouse, did the open records request and read the divorce documents. And that's how I found who she was and her phone number and then called her.
And you said you was about to say this, which I wanted to find out. You couldn't get was it annulled?
You can't get it annulled, no.
Why not?
Because in Georgia was like, you can get annulment for incest, you can get annulment for fraud, but that's not considered a fraud.
What's not?
the fact that his social was incorrect and the number of marriages on the application wasn't correct. So they were like, he intended to marry you, so it's not fraud. You'd have to get a divorce. I absolutely was trying to get an annulment.
But how is that not fraud? If you fraudulently put the wrong,
if I did that with some government documents, which is a government document, they'll hold me for
they told me. I spoke to 2 different divorce attorneys. They were like, you're not going to get an annulment on that. And I said, well, but now if I was in New York, I would have gotten an annulment.
You've been in Texas, then you'd have got one.
But in Georgia, no, I had to do the divorce, and I represented myself in the divorce. I did.
Wow.
Oh, I did. I went pro se all day.
But he wasn't trying to fight it though, was he?
He wasn't. But I still was. There was no need for me to get an attorney. I wasn't trying to get anything.
Yeah, you were trying to get out.
I just want to get out.
Yeah.
And so
what did you learn when you talked to his ex-wife?
The exact same. He had done the exact same thing to her. He had lied to me about what he had told me was that he was still close to her 2 children. She had 2 kids, and that he was very close to them. Up until all of this, he maintained that they were still close. He wanted them to come to the house. He would call me and say, I'm going to pick up, such and such. I had no idea that all of that was a lie. Then he had called me about a few weeks before this and told me that the daughter had passed away from COVID. I am one of those people, I don't play about death. So I in the 50 parts, I talked about what happened where he was like, I want to give my ex some money for the funeral. And I was like, okay, because again, he got all this money.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm totally fine with that. I'm sad for her that she lost her child. Fast forward to being on the phone with her, and she was talking about her kids in real time. And I asked her, I said, how is your daughter? And she said, my daughter's fine. What did he say? And I just was like, no, not even going to go there. Not even going to bring that up. But it confirmed for me, you are dealing with something you've never dealt with before, because I didn't know anyone that lies about
the life of somebody.
And so she confirmed a lot of things for me that I kind of was feeling, like the pathological lying part. She absolutely confirmed, oh no, honey, it's bad.
Did he indeed take some money to go give it somewhere? Did he get them, or he just made up a whole story, but it was no money that left the bank account?
Yeah, so what I found is that the story was made up, and I never found any proof that money ever. I think it was just, let me just talk to you and make it seem like I'm a good person. But no, I don't believe he ever gave money to anyone. Number one, I don't think he had it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he just be making up stories.
Yeah, so
it'd be unsolicited lies.
The thing, so I will say this: if you ever have time, like if Ashley is just like, listen, we're gonna drive, I'm gonna drive, but we're just gonna do a road trip, and y'all are like, what are we gonna listen to? Listen to the series and then listen to the audio of the book, because a lot of stuff will make sense. In this series, I absolutely explain how I found stuff out. But the part that I will tell you, those that saw the series know, he made everything was made up. And I think it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that when I say everything, I'm talking about people, phone calls, situations. He would call me from work only for me to then find out, because he did work at the condiment company, but at one point he had gotten fired. I didn't find out until months later. So when he's calling me from work, he's not actually at work.
Where was he at?
From what I was able to gather, at one point he was going back and forth to Augusta, telling his aunt that, because I did speak to his aunt, telling his aunt that he was there to preach. His aunt had no idea I had a miscarriage, and she's an older woman. So she kept wanting him to come and bring the baby by.
Oh my God. And
I had found Instagram messages where people had messaged him, hey, we heard you had a baby. And he wrote back and created a fictitious name for the child, the date the child was born, the birth weight. And they were like, we want to send you a gift. And he was like, well, we don't really need gifts. So you want to send a gift card? I can, stuff like that. These are things I found after he had been kicked out. And if you want some entertainment, part 33 and 34 is when he got kicked out. You're welcome. Yeah, but everything was made up. The phone calls that he would have in front of me, literally, hey, Ashley, I'm trying to give you an example. So let's say you and I are on the phone. Ashley's sitting right there, or you're on the phone. He would simply be like, hey, Tommy said, hey. And Ashley would probably, I would be like, tell Tommy I said, what up? You heard her? Okay, cool. And then he would then proceed to have a conversation with like the three of us, but I'm getting ready for work, so I'm not paying attention. So Tommy want to know when we gonna come up to Philly and come see him. I don't know. I gotta hurry up and go. I gotta go. Tommy, he heard you. He mad. He over here cussing. And it sounds crazy, but the way it was done.
But it would be nobody on the phone?
It flowed. No one was on the phone.
He was talking to himself.
But I didn't find that out until I talked to the real Tommy, who was like, I haven't spoken to him since 2015.
Oh.
That's why you got a TV show deal. Because that's good. That's some good stuff.
It literally, I couldn't find proof of people that he has spoken to recently. And the brothers he introduced me to, he was like, hey man, what up? What up, my sister?
Yeah.
My sister is not the same as this is my sister, this is my brother. And they had no idea that he was lying to me in such a way until I had contacted them when he went missing for a little bit.
So you talked about, and I think we have a lot of women who watch Dear Future Wifey. You mentioned that you were so excited. You thought that this was really just your God-answered prayer.
Hold on. I'm going to let you finish, and then I'm going to read this. Before you speak, Reesa Teesa. So go ahead, because you're setting up this part.
But you didn't actually seek God in this decision. But then you started to mention that at some point that shifted. Yeah. And you were very surrendered to God in saying like, okay, I need to be right with you. Yeah. I need to stop trying to do things my way. So we get a lot of messages from women around the world who talk about, getting into the wrong relationship. And many of them have a similar story. Not all of the nuances, but they wanted something to happen. Yeah. So they put themselves almost like, in the picture too much without seeking God's will. What would you say about just that whole experience and what caused you to just come back to God and say, I don't want to do it Reesa Teesa's way, or I don't want to do it Tareasa's way. I want to do it your way?
Unfortunately for me, I waited until I was really in deep trouble. And it's unfortunate that I did that, because if I had done it in the beginning, it would have saved me a lot of tears. The fact of the matter is I really didn't want, I wanted what I wanted. And I've said this and I'll say it again. At the time of all of this, I felt like God was taking too long. Let me take it a step further. I felt like God had forgotten my name. Because I joke a lot about, well, I called him God, and he was like, your call is very important to me, but please hold, your call will be answered in the order it was received. I felt like he's blessing all these other people around me. Yep. And you've given me the desire of my heart to be married and to have kids. I'm not asking for like, $200 million. I mean, it'd be great, but I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for a partner. This was my attitude towards God. I'm just asking for a partner. Life throws so many curveballs each and every day. I just want someone to do life with. And do you even remember me? Like, because you made me this way. You created me this way. So if you created me to want to be a wife and a mother, what happened? Like, is he lost? Is his GPS not working? Is he in a relationship with some chick and you like, listen, I'm working on him, trying to get him right for you. Like, what was going on? And so when he came along, I really was not willing to say, God, if he ain't for me, remove him. Because I knew that the prayer would be answered. And if the prayer was going to be answered, then you're going to have to be ready for the fact the answer might be like, okay, cool. And he's removed. And I didn't want that. Like I was at 35 years old and I really felt like time is running out.
Yeah.
And I understand the mantra of people saying, girl, you just gotta trust God's timing, and you do. But it's hard to live that when you're living a life by yourself, working a job where it barely covers you. You're struggling each and every month. And I'm saying that as a single woman with no kids. I can only imagine the women who do have kids who were like, I don't want to raise these kids by myself. Like, I want a partner. I want a helpmate. And so I didn't want to pray it because I didn't want him to answer that prayer. I wanted him to be like, girl, I got you. This is him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, when I at 35 is when I froze my eggs. And one of the first questions they asked me was, do you have any sperm that we can use to create embryos? And I was like, any sperm? Just because think about words, right? Do I have just any sperm? I was like, and that was the first time where, and I literally told my husband, I was working that day. I was working from home and the doctor called and they were going over all of my levels, like my AMH level and my FSH level. And I felt like they dropped a bomb on me because they were just like, yeah, and basically, you know, your eggs. And I was like, oh, I had to cancel all of my meetings for the rest of the day.
It messed with you.
Because I was like, am I old? Like I'm at that real, you know, stage in my life where 35 has some significant consequences. I'm getting choked up. Just if you want to have kids,
you need to hurry up.
You need to hurry.
My oh my God moment was my doctor saying, okay, so let's have a discussion about reproduction. So what are you thinking? What you mean? Well, you have options. You can freeze your eggs. And, you know, if you don't want motherhood, it was one of those conversations where you see it on. So I'm saying to you as a guy, you see it on television and movies. Yep. But when it's your turn to have the conversation and you haven't yet done what you have wanted to do, it messes with you. And ever since that doctor's appointment, I was like, oh my God, okay. I don't know my father. I've never met him. If he could be one of your listeners, I would have no idea. Yeah. The first thing that I wanted to do is give my child something I never had, a father. Yeah. A present, loving father. So in order for me to do that, I need to meet someone. Well, how do I meet people? I am not going to meet them at Georgia State Patrol. I love y'all troopers, but no. So it was like, I need to do online dating. Like it was a series of, I don't know what God's doing. And I know he's busy because he made the earth, the heaven, and the stars. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to help him because I know exactly what I want. And so I did the online dating, and I've said in the book, I would never do online dating again because it put me in rooms with people God never intended for me to be in rooms with naturally. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not for me. I know it worked for some people, but y'all, I met Legion. I think I get a pass. So don't come for me. I think I get a pass. They understand. And so
and most people say it's not for everybody.
That age messed with me. And I can admit as a woman, I was so focused on, I've got to hurry up to the point where now I'm 41 and I've been very, very transparent in that book where I've said, I'm at a place where I may have to accept the train has left the station because life is not what it was at 35. My body's not what it was at 35. And even 35 was pushing it. So now that you're 6 years later, there's certain conversations you don't want to have, but your body will force you to have it. And I let it run me. So I'll never tell a woman, oh, you know, you're in this relationship and you're wasting your time. My thing is, what's running you? Is it fear? Are you with him because you're afraid you're running out of time? And, you know, the dating pool sucks. You kind of choose the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. Yep. I get it. But I would say, friend, it didn't work out for me. I just don't want you to run. I don't want you to repeat the mistake I made. Yes, it is scary to say, God, if this person isn't for me, remove them. Because he very well will probably remove them.
Yep.
My prayer, and what I'm okay with admitting is my prayer now is, if he's not for me and you remove him, I'm asking that it don't hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to take it a more specific way with God. Yeah. I ask that it not hurt. I ask that you remove the desire for them. And the thing is, I'm praying that from experience. Mm-hmm. I know what it's like for me to be in love with someone, and I pray it. And within about 2 weeks, it's like,
yeah,
I don't even really like you like that. And the desire leaves. So he knows how to remove people so it doesn't hurt. Yep. I just take it a step further, and I'm like, no, let me be clear, Lord. Don't kill him. Don't remove him like that. I'm just asking. I'm asking that you take away that part of me that longs for him, whoever he is, because that's what messes with me. I'm one of those people. I tend to dive head first.
You try to make it work,
and I try to make it work. And so I'm just asking God, go ahead, cocoon me.
Yeah,
because that's what he did in the series.
Yeah,
he eventually, my ex-husband he hurt his knee. And eventually had to move into the guest bedroom. And when he moved into the guest bedroom, that's when I started to get sleep. That's when I started to have peace. Because what I believe happened, and I do say this in the book, I believe God said, I'm going to orchestrate a series of events because she hears him more than she hears me.
That's good.
And I'm not going to have that. And plus, I'm asking him to step in. So he was like, I got it. Mm-hmm. And he literally orchestrated, okay, I'm moving him out of the bedroom. So now there's something about sleeping and getting peaceful sleep and waking up feeling refreshed. And I felt like in my sleep is when he would talk to me, and he would show me dreams of, this is how, I can't explain to you how I ended up finding out, like, what did I see that made me look at the divorce records in that county. I can't explain it. I just know I woke up and something in me said, go look at the open records for his name in that county. Because you never even thought he was associated with that county. So there's certain things that happen that I cannot explain other than I had to just experience God saying, I'm going to move for you. And I'm going to show you in such a way that of course I know your name. Yeah. That's what I felt like happened in the summer of 2021, was God being like, girl, I always knew your name. I designed your name. I've always remembered you. Even when it felt like I was busy answering other calls, I was absolutely working on your behalf. You just didn't trust me.
You didn't trust me.
And so now you're going to have to trust me to get you out of it. And now I'm in a season where I'm having to trust him with this book, because this book it's naked. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost past authentic. It's naked. It is me being like, y'all, child, I'm trying. I'm trying to heal. That's why when you ask me, am I dating? So I'm going to give you the correct answer.
Okay. So I asked her prior to this interview, are you dating? So I'm going to ask you on air, are you dating?
I am in a very happy relationship with not one, but two.
And who are
Delta and Hilton. When I leave Hilton, I go to Delta. When I leave Delta, I go to Hilton. We go together.
Real bad.
Real bad. They all know about each other. And it's been a beautiful relationship. Delta and Hilton. I got a diamond from Delta.
We got to give you some.
I got a diamond from Delta. And I'm working on a diamond from Hilton. People are like, bands will make her dance. Rocks make me dance. Thank you, Delta and Hilton.
So Delta, you know I've been coming after y'all to sponsor Dear Future Wifey podcast. So there it is. You know, I just became Diamond for the second year in a row. Last month in July. And so, so thank you. So now I'm in Delta, I'm in Diamond and beyond for this. I want to jump into chapter 2. I chose the dream when God was showing me the truth. The Spirit is there to save us from heartache. If I had learned what I needed to from the relationships I had before meeting Legion, if I had honored the signs and chosen not to ignore the very real interventions God kept placing in front of me, there would have been no TikTok series, no marriage that should never have happened, no viral heartbreak. If I had allowed myself to heal, I mean truly heal, I would never have ventured down the path I've ended up on. Instead, I would have been a woman who had finally listened to her spirit and walked away, but I didn't. I ignored what was being revealed to me, and not just once, repeatedly. I looked God in the face, heard what he whispered, felt it in the pit of my stomach, and said, I really want this though. I thought my desire was more urgent than his wisdom. I believe my life's plan was more important than what God was trying to show me. I bought into the lie that I was running out of time, the notion that if I did everything right, I would be off the market in a house and living my dream of having a family. I'm gonna drop down to this line. Each time I chose a story, this is good right here. Each time I chose the story I made up in my own mind instead of the evidence and truth that lay before me, it led me deeper into a cycle of deception and pain. Ignoring the divine revelations, the interventions of the Spirit doesn't ever protect us. We don't escape the consequences of our disobedience or disregard. In fact, it only prolongs the inevitable, or worse, excludes us from the blessings that might be waiting for us when we do listen. If we're honest, I believe the majority of people on this earth have been in that tension where we say whether it's a job, a career, whether it's having kids, whether it's having love, relationships, even a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship, even in the puppy love stage, as we call it, in our adolescence, trying to find love, we try to wheel stuff into happening. We try to Pepe Le Pew things into happening. We try to Steve Urkel things where he says, I'm just wearing you down, Laura. You see the red flags, you see the signs, and you say, God, sit back. I got this. I know what's best for me. What I love about this book, because what I'm gonna do is reverse. I know you say go watch the series first and then read the book. I'm gonna go get the audio of the book. Okay. And no, I'm just gonna read this one because I got it in my hand. Thank y'all to the publisher for sending me this advanced copy. I'm gonna sell it out the trunk of the car. It's going for $10,000. You get the first book. But listen, so I'm gonna sell it on eBay. So the reality is I get a chance to look at this because what I admire the most about you is the fact that you showed up naked and unashamed. And you said I was naked. This book reveals your nakedness, but it shows a portion of you that's unashamed. You can walk through the TikTok series where you say, yeah, I was quote unquote embarrassed by some of the choices I made. But when you decide to put it in this, there's some freedom that takes place. Because you're saying, here's the proof. You can go back and read it. You can go find my words, my statements, my journey of healing. My question to you is, why did you go from who the F did I marry to what the F do I do now? Why'd you name it this?
So what the F do I do now is a question, and it's been different variations of the question. Basically, what do I do now? What do I do now after a relationship is over, right? So before I got married, in different chapters of my life, that is the one question I consistently answer, or I consistently ask. After a relationship is over, after I lost a job, then when everything, I really call it the blow up of the marriage, right? Everything shattered. There is a difference between something broken and something shattered, in my opinion. For me, shattered will never be the same.
Nope.
No matter how meticulously you try to put it back together, it is simply not going to be the same. And after my marriage broke, it shattered, and I got the divorce decree. I remember sitting on the steps in my townhouse crying. My ex-husband had just been arrested in the driveway of the house. And I remember sitting there because I was looking at the paperwork and I was like, it didn't even have to go like this. It didn't have to end up like this. Like, what am I going to do now? What is this? How did I end up 36, only married for 6 months and divorced? A level of embarrassment I have never in my life experienced up until that point had happened. Then the series happened, in 2024. So between 2021 and 2024 was a lot of soul searching Was a lot of, oh, I'm okay, when I really wasn't. Yeah. Was a lot of crying. Was a lot of, what am I going to do? Who am I? Like, are you willing to accept you might not get married? What does that look like? What does life look like if you don't accomplish the very thing you thought you for the longest time you were put on this earth for? What does life look like if you don't become someone's mom? If you never experience pregnancy and childbirth? All of that was questions in those 3 years. Then the series happened in 2024. Now the world knows your name, but the world knows you, as I said before, as a caricature. Who are you?
Why you choose the word caricature?
Because that's exactly how it felt. It absolutely felt like you're not even a real person. You were our entertainment. You were the person we put on the television, and we would have girl night and we would watch and eat and sip wine and laugh and just have conversation. There came a point where I've watched the series myself and I have read the comments. And so around part 37 into the 40s, there was a comment that I remember stuck out to me because it was the user ID I had seen on other videos. And the person said, "This isn't funny anymore." Like, I watched this series and I know exactly how I was feeling. And you can see later on in the series where it was taking a toll on me to relive it, to get it out. Yes, it's freeing, but when you're in the tunnel, it's ugly. And so there's moments where I'm in that tunnel and I'm getting it out, but it was difficult. And so I remember saying to people, like, I'm a real person. Like, this situation, this experience, this marriage, I will never be the same. Yeah. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you and your audience, I genuinely never thought I had to pay attention to whether or not you're really on a phone call.
Dang.
And so when you say to me, when people are like, dating and relationships, I believe in love. I believe in marriage. But I cannot sit here and tell you that if a man I'm involved with took a phone call, I do not subconsciously hold my breath to see if I can hear that someone else is on the other phone.
That's real, though.
That's how I know there's still some work that got to get done. Like, I am terrified. I'm willing to admit, and I said it in the book, I am terrified of repeating history because my MO is I repeat history. So there's a part of me that's like,
that's good.
I want to learn from what happened with Legion. But if I met a guy, and this is in my walk today, if I met a guy who was like, no, I'm serious about you, I'm almost afraid that I would forget the lessons I learned. And I would be like, wait a second, there's still time for the train. Okay, what does my name look like with his last name? Where are we at? And the fact that that's where my mind goes, that scares me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm just very adamant about there's so much more to me, but there's a real lesson that I hope people resonate with, whether it's women or men. Like, there's a real lesson in the fact that, I'm terrified of repeating history because as you just read, I have not learned lessons in the past, and history repeated itself. It just looked a little different. And each time the cost is greater than the last time.
God is good. What are you about to say?
I was just going to say, what are you doing to heal?
One, I'm really working on the relationship with me. Because before all this, this was an ugly day when we were working on this chapter. But before, when we were working on the book, me and the collaborator, I remember really saying to myself, I have spent so much time being... Okay, did you ever watch Sex and the City?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Charlotte.
I got too excited.
Do you remember?
More excited than me.
I've seen
That's my show.
Well, because the writing was so good on that show.
But there's an episode where Charlotte is at the diner and she said, I've been dating since I was 15. Where is he? That I feel like is me. Maybe not since 15, but I feel like I have been trying to do everything possible. And I'm respectfully using you as a man. Yeah. I've been trying to do everything possible to get you to pick me without acknowledging I am a pick me.
Ooh.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good.
What does Tareasa like to do on her own? Can I enjoy my own company? This is why I'm pushing so hard for solo traveling and just doing things solo. You did take yourself on that
Europe trip, didn't you?
I did go on the European trip. I didn't go by myself though.
Okay.
We're working up to that.
Yeah, okay.
Domestic travel.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, like, can I enjoy my own company? That is a struggle that I'm purposely putting out there because it helps me to kind of show, again, y'all, this is kind of hard. So if y'all got some tips on how to go to a restaurant, sit at the table, not the bar.
Yeah.
And just be alone and not be on your phone.
Yeah.
Like these are small things that I'm trying to challenge myself to.
I used to do that. I got to that point when I was single.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to take myself out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put calendar reminders on my phone. But that was so that I could get dressed. Like, because you want to get cute.
Yes.
If I'm going to go out on a date, I got to look the best for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd save my best dress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would order myself car service. Because I'm not going to drive.
Someone told me to do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I live kind of like in the country, but okay. You going all out. See, that's what I mean. Like stuff like that.
Yes. But let me tell you, I was so popular everywhere I went. People would come up to me, excuse me, are you waiting for someone? No, she's here. I had this.
You talk about yourself.
I was talking about myself. She's here.
Did they think you were crazy?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm telling you, I had people that were trying to, men and women, just like trying to be my friend, or men trying to be like, well, can I? So this is something you do. But I realized, I was like, if I can't entertain myself and I'm talking about sitting at a table, I'd be like, what do I want? I'd be laughing at what I had done for the week.
Crazy now,
I was not. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I was with you.
Ashley. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You have to be able to look back at yourself and just say, you know what, I did that. Or I would bring my journal to just journal in. And I'm telling you, I had so much fun with myself. I remember a moment where I said, I'm ready now.
Okay.
Like, I'm ready to start dating again.
Okay.
Because I'm a good time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking myself too seriously. I'm not putting out this energy where anybody who walks, I just got to be like, oh, come sit at my table. Like, in fact, my table is full. And they'd be like, but it's not full. But it is full.
Yeah.
Because in here and here, I'm full.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like, don't literally laugh.
And that's where I want to get to. So to say, oh, I'm in a relationship working on myself, I think people have officially tried to make that into a cliche. But really and truly, I can admit it may not have been overtly, it may not have been loudly, but I was absolutely being a pick-me. And a pick-me for the last name change, a pick-me to be someone's mother, a pick-me. Like, I was doing everything I could to keep or get a guy to really see me as wife material. I now know what it's like to be a wife.
She said, done that, checked off.
Again, I believe in love. I believe in marriage. I just don't think I am in a healthy place for it right now.
And I can respect that. But the only thing that I would say as a little nugget of wisdom is that a lot of times when I talk to people, because, I talk to a ton of people on this podcast and just off the podcast, a lot of people are waiting for this, I am fully healed from whatever.
Right.
And that's not realistic.
No.
Because triggers are going to show up while you're in the relationship. And I always liken it to the scripture where it says, and as they went, they were healed.
Yeah.
They got their healing. Jesus healed them and said, you have been healed. But then the healing didn't manifest in that moment when Jesus healed them as far as a visual representation of it. And the Bible says, and as they went, they were healed. So as you continue to move, knowing that you are healed, that's where the healing comes around 100%.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that any relationship, you're going to notice, my trigger was this. I dealt with this toxic woman in the past that would always have her phone on silent. And then she would always have her phone face down. She also had an Apple Watch. And so she would always look at her Apple Watch and she'll be doing like this. So she would be texting. I had to find out later that she would be texting other dudes on her phone and she would say it was work. And then her phone was on silent. And so when I met Ashley don't like her phone ringing a lot. So her phone would be on silent. And I said, that's a trigger for me. Acknowledge it. Give voice to it. Don't even tell her to change it. just tell her where the trigger is coming from. I said, I noticed that you got an Apple Watch and you also your phone is on silent all the time. I just want to share with you, I dated this woman that was toxic and she would be lying, she was deceitful or whatever, and I just wanted to give voice to that. Don't even change nothing. But I gave her an entry point into a past experience I had, acknowledged the trigger as a trigger, and then told myself, but Ashley's not her.
Right. And then I had the opportunity to say, well, it's funny you mentioned that because my therapist told me that I am overly stimulated by all of the notifications on my phone. And so what I had to do, because I was having severe anxiety just from always being like, oh, that's my team. I got to get back to them. Oh, that's another work email. Oh, gotta respond to the point where my blood pressure is high. So my notifications are on silent because I want to choose to respond when I look at my phone.
See what I'm saying? So now it gave me insight to her experience as a professional woman, as a business owner. And now we had a chance, based on my trigger, to have a conversation about even her phone that was triggering her. And so that's the reason why I say a lot of times we just need to have those conversations. There's nothing wrong with you. Somebody sitting on the phone, you like, are they really talking on the phone? There's nothing wrong with that. And then to be like, let me tell you something. You know, when you was on that call, I'm gonna be honest with you. It may sound funny to you.
I thought you was talking to yourself. I ain't hear nobody on that.
Are you crazy? He's like, girl, now look. And he looked and showed that the last call was somebody, and y'all laugh about it. And then y'all come on Dear Future Wifey later, and y'all go, man, you remember when we did that? Man, your girl crazy. Your girl actually thought that I was on the phone with talking to myself, and we laughed about it, and he got a chance to cover that. Instead of be like, now you crazy, now you very insecure, and you ain't, listen, I ain't finna be showing you every phone call I have. I ain't finna be doing all that. He says, hey, listen, I understand. And have a conversation. It's a lot of people that are triggered by people having their phone down. I remember, and I shared this with Ashley before, my phone will, somebody can call me to this very day, and I'll be like, Ashley, answer the phone, see who that is. Oh, back in my marriage, that would have never been there. When I was married before, you ain't gonna look at my phone because I had something to hide. I told Ashley, I said, you know what I feel so great about? I say this to her so often. I say, and this happened about a week ago, I said, I'm so happy that my phone can ring and I can tell you to look at it or answer it and I don't have nothing to hide. But that's my peace that I have. That's the joy that I have of my own deliverance. Now, a lot of times men wouldn't share that because they don't want you to use that to weaponize, be like, I'm telling you that I used to do this in the past. I don't want to give you that because he may have to go back to his old tricks again. So he don't want to tell you how he used to be deceptive. So he's like, I ain't going to tell you that. So I don't want to even know. Me, I'm just naked and unashamed.
So I'm gonna share my truth with you. My ex, I had the passcode to my ex-husband's phone. He was always, if the phone rings, you can answer it. I have nothing to hide. One of my triggers is I have nothing to hide. I don't lie. Like that's a trigger for me because obviously he would say that. And he felt freedom to give me his passcode because he had another phone, which of course I knew nothing about. And so now, Lord, you're going to help me. If I am out and we're talking about a guy friend and his phone is up, faced up, and he gets away from the table, that ain't none of my business. Cause I'm just like,
you turn it upside down?
I turn it over. I don't want to say, And here's the thing, like I said it. Oh God, there's so many people who were like, Reesa says she don't check phones. I don't check phones. I don't even look because it's like, I know what it's like to be given a passcode and you think you're secure and you weren't. So that's the things that I'm still just, I work through because it's like, girl, you can have my passcode. That don't mean nothing.
No, because it is so scary when someone presents themselves so honestly, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh no, honey, keep some secrets."
Yeah,
keep some secrets.
Yeah, and you have to be careful though, not to become or not to think that everyone is that callous.
I know,
because that is a severe form of callousness can develop from that.
Yeah,
because you're like, well, if you can do that. And you can lead.
And then you start second guessing. And there's someone in my life that always says, I am not like these other dudes that you've been with. And I appreciate it, but my brain is like,
yeah, right.
You don't. I don't think you understand that the chemistry is off. The chemistry in my brain is very much
it's
like
been rewired.
Nah. Because he's basically saying like, I don't lie, I'm just me. And I think to myself, how many times did you hear that? How many times what he just said is the exact same thing of what Legion used to say to you, and you thought you were crazy because it's like, yeah, I guess. I mean, he said he don't lie. He said, I mean, I got the passcode, I got the password. Like, and only to find out your foundation was quicksand.
What about the Dallas? You talk about Dallas in the book. Was he a person that did the same thing? You don't have to lie?
Dallas was absolutely secretive. So Dallas, for the people who were like, who? What is an ex-boyfriend that I talk about? These are all fictitious names.
Right.
But he was absolutely secretive. One of the most, if not the most verbally abusive relationship I've ever had. I fully believe he didn't even remember my government name. He called me a bitch so much. And I was so broken down because it started out as, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then it turned into, I remember the first time he called me out my name. And I was like, and I didn't put a stop to it.
How old were you then?
23.
So it was a young
23.
Was that your
He was my first boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so everything was a secret. Everything was just smoke and mirrors. So by the time the next relationship came, which was completely opposite, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, sweetest guy ever. And I just thought, oh, thank God, like, this is healthy. The devil had a different tactic. Like, yeah, I'm a love you, but like, I'll never love you out loud. You will always be a secret science experiment to me because I've never been with a big girl. I talk about that in the book. Yeah. Then I meet Legion, who was like, no, I'm going to love you out loud. I'm never going to call you out your name. I'm never going to verbally abuse you. I'm going to always be honest with you. But what's going to happen is I'm going to play you like an orchestra.
Yeah.
You don't know it yet, but I'm going to leave you in such a mental weird state that you will be, the next time you meet a guy and you've known him for years, you are not even going to trust your own self because I'm going to play you so good. I mean, Madden all day, Super Bowl, World Series, I'm going to play you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I say I didn't learn from this one. And then I went to this one, different tactic, same devil. Didn't learn, went to this one, different tactic, same devil. And so I do not want to FAFO
over somebody else.
Do not.
Yeah, you said you'll mess over a dude because he was sitting there like, okay, now listen, girl. This is my name. I showed you my birth certificate. You'd be like, how's that a real birth certificate?
No, because more than likely, by the time we go on our first date, this is why I need to meet someone who's just a friend.
Yep.
By the time we went on the first date, I already ran your background.
I knew you were going to say that. Now
I'm running backgrounds. Yeah. I'm running your credit check.
Yeah.
I cannot afford
to waste that level of time.
Mm-hmm. I cannot afford to be that blind again.
Yeah.
I can love you as I'm waiting for the results to circle. And come back. And then I'm going to print. And I'm going to sit right at that dinner table. And it's not hard to get what you need to run a background. So where'd you grow up?
Yep.
What's your sign, Gemini? Are you a May Gemini or a June Gemini? You look like you was born June 5th. And most men are going to be like, nah, I was born June 12th. And you 41, look at you. Black don't crack. Now I know your date of birth. What? So your whole name Pookie? Well, your mama held you up like the Lion King. What she named you? Oh, she named you Walter. Okay, that's what's up. Walter Pookie? Nah, it's really just Marcus. Walter Marcus. Cool. Now I got your name and date of birth. I'm telling you when I go home. And you're going to be like, why you leave me on red? Because I was waiting for your background to come back. Run the background.
Aston, she going when he grabbed the glass and drink, she gonna take the glass and put it in her bag.
Yeah,
because I work in law enforcement. And bro, run this for fingerprints through GCIC.
She gonna take his fork and drop it in the thing.
Yep.
He's like, why are you keeping the fork? Because it's gonna remind me of our first date.
Here's DNA.
Yo, let me rub your head. Look at that hair fiber.
Run you through these records.
So yeah, I'm going to, and I'm okay with that. And God, I believe that with me, God has a beautiful sense of humor. So he's just sitting on the throne, and he's just like, I know. She gonna do it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And she gonna ask me ahead of time if he ain't for me, remove him. Matter of fact, before he even sit down, go ahead and remove him, and I'll have my own solo dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
Reesa.
and maybe don't talk to yourself because they might think
They might, because I'll have a whole conversation like, no, he is not about to walk over here. And I know I could tell that he don't wash underneath his nails. No.
But you can laugh under your breath. That's more accurate of what I used to say. He's like, oh.
So this is why it's like when it comes to relationships, I just let's just be friends. If it grows, it grows. But let's just be friends. Let's be able to laugh. I need to be able to laugh with you. You can make fun of me if we are friends.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I make fun of me, and I'm doggone sure gonna make fun of you.
Yeah.
Good.
Are there any friends in your life right now that
Male friends?
Yeah, male friends.
Yeah. I have male friends that I love them. And so far, none of them are pushing for or even dropping hints for anything. It is a platonic male friendship.
So I love that. And so in my book, I talk about the best relationship starts from friendship.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you, or when I go out and do events, what I find is a lot of women, they will friend zone a guy, but they would never let him out of the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you, you know how you need love cultivated in your relationship. Have you friend zoned these guys?
Yeah. Yeah. So what they need to do is talk to their God and ask their God to remove them out of the friend zone. And what God will do is according to his riches and glory, he'll remove them if in such he wants them removed. But yeah, they friend zone all day. And I'm just like, okay. But if you want to be removed, that
is not where I thought
they're going to talk to their God. And then their God will talk to my God. And so my people will talk to your people. But until then.
And if any of them approach you and they say, Reesa.
What? What?
God was showing me.
No, he didn't.
That I believe what we have here is deeper than friendship. And I wanted to talk to you.
And see if you feel the same.
He didn't tell you to do that. So that tells me we're unequally yoked. He didn't tell you to come at me that way. See? You call him back. Because God ain't going to tell you to approach me that way. I'm too scared. You need to just...
You got to just keep sliding.
Yeah,
you got to keep spending time with
be
go
like,
to the house and buy the things.
I don't know how you need to do it.
I already know what you got to do.
I
already know what you got to do. Friend who's maybe locked in friend zone.
Yes.
Just date her without her knowing you dating her. That's it. Just date her. She won't even know she dating. Just start spending time with her. Hey, let's go out to eat, girl. Y'all just gonna hang out. Just keep hanging out with her a whole lot. And then she's gonna look up and you'll be like, oh, we married? How did that happen? How did we get
Yeah,
that's a new book. How the F did I get? How the F did I get married?
When you said God told me,
no, he didn't.
And see, I'm so crazy that the moment they started, because see, one of my friends in particular, he's gonna see this, and he gonna be funny and be like, "Friend, God told me." I'm gonna be like.
Your face go out back. Go like this. No,
he didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you that.
So you already think that there's something going on between you and this friend?
No. What I'm saying is he's going to joke and be like, just to see the reaction. And I'm going to be like,
I thought he might secretly have a crush.
No, she don't. No, she said all of them are platonic.
No.
Okay. They're not going to say nothing.
Yeah.
Because
they in friend zone jail.
Say nothing. Yeah. They in friend zone jail, and they have to find a really keen tactic for a guy to. In the Bible, it says that even with Pharaoh, that God had to start massaging Pharaoh's heart and his mind. I ain't calling you Pharaoh, but you close to it when it comes to your love.
So it says, so it is written.
So it is written.
Like the 10 Commandments.
So you got,
thou shalt not try me. Resalations 2:15. Don't try me.
So God is gonna have to soften your heart. Yes. So you can say, let those emotions go. Yeah. Let those fear go. Like he said, let my people go. Yeah. You're gonna say, let that fear go.
He's probably what I think he's gonna have to do, God, is probably he's gonna send, this is what I believe. He will send a real sign. This is from me.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, for real? Okay, thunder. Lightning. And then because I live in Georgia in the summer, that could happen real easily. So then I'm gonna have to be like,
Thunder.
Thunder.
Then say, and then snow in the middle of Georgia.
You're right.
Like, whoa.
It's like he's going to send a sign. My best friend, she told me what her sign is. She was like, he needs to come in a yellow shirt with a blue hat. And I was like, I love that for her because she is so adamant that's how she's going to know that this person is from God. So I need to come up with something.
Listen,
I need to come up with something.
I did an interview for the 700 Club, and it was a lady there that works in a production team, and she said she told God that whoever her husband is would take her on an ice cream date.
Okay.
As the first date.
Yeah.
And this guy was talking, said, I don't know if you think this is corny or whatever, but I would like our first date to be an ice cream date. And she said in that call, she sat there and was like, God, this is him. But she didn't let him know that. And we're on that date. And are they married? Yeah, I think they got married, been married like a couple of years or whatever.
Because I've always been taught, write the vision, make it plain. Be specific. And that's how I feel. It's just be like, God, this is so I'm gonna need a sign that I understand. And until then, I think God is like, y'all all funny. I'm working on her. She under construction, but it will be okay.
So let me ask you this. What do you want people to take away from this book?
Yeah.
So first off, I hope the book resonates with each and every person in a way that works for them, right? Because some people will read it and take different lessons from it. Some people will read it just to see what stories are in there. And however they get the book, whether they're reading it because they're like, child, I just want to see if she is messy.
Yeah.
I hope that they close it and they're like, I feel her. I feel her. The main thing that I hope is that, number one, whether it's a woman or a man, if you were in a relationship that blew up, it's never don't give up on the dream that you had.
Yeah.
My thing now is we're editing the dream, right?
Yes.
And so we're editing it based on where we are. There are things in my life that I absolutely always wanted to accomplish. I'm not giving it up. I'm just editing some things, right? Number two, I don't want anyone to feel like they themselves, I'm the only person this ever happened to.
Yes.
Because I know what that feels like, hence the 50-part series. So I want people to truly feel like, tag, man, the same thing happened to me and it happened to her. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the only one. Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean by those stories resonate with them. The lessons resonate. And then for the younger people, because I think about my little cousin she's 20, but I think about the fact that it is okay for you to read this book and you don't have to learn lessons the hard way. You can learn from some of the mistakes and the pitfalls that I, myself, and others have made. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be you had to learn, in a heartbreaking way. So there's 3 different categories that I hope the book falls into for the audience. Is, I all in all, I want people to walk away feeling like they know who I am. Like there is more to her than that 8 hours that she had me cleaning my house. There is. Like I like to pride myself on the fact that I'm fun. I'm a funny person. Like I have a good sense of humor and personality, but I went through something traumatic, and while I understand the entertainment value of it, I hope people walk away realizing there's real work that had to be done, and it's okay. And I'm okay with admitting I'm still a work in progress. One of the things that I said in the book that you hit on, healing is not a destination. No. Like where I am today is not where I was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm not even where I was in 2024, but I am excited about where I will be when it's like I have dealt with some of the triggers. I know how to handle them. I know how to receive love. I know how to be in a healthy relationship, because I talk about how I've never experienced a healthy relationship. I have always been in chaos and was so comfortable and didn't even know it, to where I think that right now, if I met someone who brought peace, I don't know that I would be able to appreciate it just yet.
That's good.
So there's still work that needs to get done. And so I feel like in the world we live in, people don't want to do the work on themselves. We live in a social media quick type thing. And I'm just like, y'all, I'm tired. That's why it's so honest, because I'm tired. I'm tired of, the lights, camera, action. At the end of the day, underneath all this is a woman with some cornrows in her head who's trying to figure out how to navigate life and do it in a way where she's living a life she never saw coming. And that's where I'm at today.
But Reesa Teesa, I got to talk about this because what a lot of people don't understand or will never experience is the level of vitriol that you received showing up transparent, where people may look at it as entertainment, but then the aftermath of it can even be a greater toll, if not equivalent to what you were actually sharing by social media coming at you with a lot of backlash. Touch on that and explain what your transparency and vulnerability opened up in your own life to a level of attack that you wasn't even prepared for.
So doing this series goes viral. You have, once you open the door, I've said this before, social media is a beast. Once the beast is out, you cannot put the beast back in. It is like drinking from a fire hose. So the series goes out, it goes viral. You're going to have a lot of praise from some people, but you are going to get criticism. This is what I believe. With social media, it'll either be criticism first and then praise, or praise first and then backlash. Yep. In my case, it was criticism first. So I put the story out there and I was inundated with so many think pieces and videos on how dumb I was, how I was doing this for clout. And it took me by surprise, because I felt like, I'm telling you guys an experience I had. Why would you tell me I'm lying? Yeah. Like it wasn't correlating. And we do live in a world, I think it is important to acknowledge, there are people who, in fact, do lie on social media because they want their 15 minutes of fame. Yep. For me, I was like, y'all, I just gave you, this is what I was thinking. I gave you guys 8 hours with details, dates and timestamp. I'm not making this up. This really did happen. The backlash about my weight, how I sound, how I look, what did I think was going to happen? One lady did a video where she was like, Reesa Teesa doesn't even look like something or someone that a VP would be with. Like, what did she think was going to happen? I had a woman who made a video saying, I think she lied about her miscarriage because that's not what happened to me. What? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So the backlash was so bad that I can honestly tell you my mental health took a hit. Yes, I was 36 years old, a grown woman living her own life, paying her own bills. But there is something to be said about when people dissect you as if you are a biology experiment, and not even take into consideration that you lived this, that this really happened to you. This changed who you are. And so I feel my heart goes out to people who either don't have the right community around them, they're young, and they don't know that this too will pass. Because when you're in the storm, it feels like it will never be over. We know social media, what is hot Wednesday will not be hot next Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But when you are in it, it feels like you are surrounded. Everybody's whispering about you. Yeah. It feels like you walk into the store and everyone stops talking. They're like, is that girl? Yeah. That heifer was dumb. Yeah. Get away from her in case her stupidness jumps off on you. Yeah. That it's a psychological thing. Yep. I feel for people who didn't have a mom around them to take their phone. Because at one point, my mother took my phone because I was on TikTok so much looking at all these think pieces about myself. And she was like, this is not healthy. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're past the point of tears. Give me your phone. Yeah. The young people who don't realize it will pass. Because how many people, and you hit on it, how many people have been like, I can't take this anymore.
Yep.
And they do something permanent.
Yep.
Because they cannot take it anymore. I know what it is like to be afraid to leave the house because you're afraid that you are being judged. Everyone thinks you are the poster child for stupidity, for desperation. It is hard when strangers who've never met you call you every name but a child of God. And I have said this, and I'll say it again to the two of you and your audience. Had I known it was going to be that way, I absolutely would have done things differently.
Such as what? Never done it?
I would not have done it the way I did it.
Would you have shared the videos at all, though?
No. I wouldn't have even gone through social media. I would have tried to, I actually probably would have tried to do a book.
Yeah.
I probably would have tried to do a book or something just not so in your face where your face is everywhere. Because people show you, girl, you on a TV in London and people just stopping watching the TV and there you are. And they're like, that's Reesa Teesa. There are amazing opportunities that came from it, but there is a cost that had to be paid for doing that.
And which is good. And it's interesting that you pit a book, against social media, because a book is a different audience. Like you don't hear stuff go viral so much about somebody wrote something in the book, but you see the videos in it. For I know all things work together for the good of them that love God and to the called according to his purpose. The book wouldn't existed had the TikTok series took place. The TV show deal that you have wouldn't existed had the TikTok series. And God knows that you could get in your own way. Yeah. So reason why I love that scripture, for I know, is because it's evidence based. For I know all things work together. That's coming from a heart posture of, you know what? I've seen this happen in my life before, and it's worked out for my good. Yeah. And so God didn't desire for you to get tied up with Legion, but he said, but it's going to work out for my good.
I say this in the book, in one of the part 2 chapters. I said, I don't believe it was it was not his perfect will for me to marry Legion. I admit that. I've been very open about that. However, I do believe that even in a mess, he's going to orchestrate to get glory.
Yep, get a message.
And the thing that I try to be very, very honest and very transparent about, no one can explain to me, and people have tried, no one can explain how an 8-hour story time on an app that is really made for 30 seconds to 1 minute.
That part
can go so insanely viral. And I'm talking about international, because I saw my DMs to the people who were in other countries translating the series in other languages. No one can explain how it went viral, to the point that I have met the TikTok CEO and the first thing he said was, I wanted to meet you. Yeah. Because it cannot be explained. Yes. It's things like that I have no choice but to sit back and be like, honey, that's nothing but God. So even when I'm on a Good Morning America, a Tamron Hall, no matter what platform he puts me on, it's almost like, no, I'm not going to sit up here and take credit. Yeah, I may be good at storytelling, but I understand who the programmer is. And I said that on Tamron Hall. I was like, social media has a way of making you think you're bigger than the program. You're feeling yourself because you went viral. And you can never forget how all this happened, who made this happen. And so you're sitting on a national show, national podcast, you better give honor to whom honor is due. And it's funny because when we were working on the book, I was like, yeah, he definitely has gotten glory. Because even like you all said, has anyone ever stopped you from talking about Jesus? No. Yep. But the fact of the matter is, you insert him in there. So even when people are like Reesa Teesa, you can never say, I don't know what her religion is. They can never say that, because I've made it a point to be like, y'all, it's not, I can't explain it. I've never seen, in my own viewpoint, I've never seen someone go big on social media and be able to take it out of social media, and your name is in rooms you never even walked in. You know what I mean? Like, example, Michelle Obama said my name.
Yeah.
Tina knows Beyonce's mother.
Know your name.
Said my name, which means Beyonce said it.
That's exactly what it means.
Yes,
that's right.
And nobody can tell me different.
Nobody can tell you different.
Because that means that Miss Tina was talking to Beyonce, and Beyonce was probably like, Reesa Teesa, I watched you too. And that's what I tell myself. And her whole team, Jay-Z was like, yeah, son. And I was like, yo. And Blue Ivy was like, yeah, I saw it too. And Beyonce was like, what'd you see?
You shouldn't be watching that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be watching that because she cussed. But yeah, you can't tell me different.
Let me tell you this. I'm going to put this in perspective so we can just go and give God even more glory. 400 million views. Mm-hmm. I said, and I'll go on record with this, that I haven't researched it, but I would say that you are the first micro drama series, because in micro dramas, for those that don't know, are highly produced verticals on social media that people can watch in sequence. And it's actors, it's a storyline, and 50 plus, it can be a 30-part series, 50, 100. Issa Rae, which I was locked in on her series that she had called Screen Time, it hit 100 million views on TikTok. Now, this is a highly produced, it's a celebrity, successful TV series, Insecure, and her series got 100 million views on TikTok. And here Reesa Teesa, somebody that people didn't know, 8,000 followers on TikTok, 400 million way back then. And that's what I'm telling you about. When God decides to put his hand over on the thing, then he says, all right, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Yeah. You are in rooms having conversations and signing deals that if I talk to you about this in 2021, you'd be like, well, how would that ever happen? That would never
what
happen.
You talking about, man?
No, for real. You're going to have your own TV show. You're like, wow, who, when, what? Yeah. It would even make sense to you. And that's the reason why I love how God operates, especially when you steward the blessing well. I want us to be responsible with the comments that we leave under people's pages. These are real people. These aren't caricatures, as she said. These are real people with real emotions, and we hear that a lot of people are committing the S word. I can't even say the word without it being bleeped or triggered and all that stuff, but are committing the S word because they can't deal with the pressures of this world. And a lot of it happens through social media. Is what I'm saying under their posts going to bring them closer to Christ or push them further away after they look and your bio says woman of God, but then they look and you done told them up and cussed them out or whatever. You got to look and see if you're truly representing the heart, the mind, the voice, and the hands of God. And so be very mindful, because you have no idea. And Reesa could only go as deep as she did, but she could never articulate what she physically and emotionally went through with all the vitriol. Ashley and I can't even tell you all the stuff that we went through just on our happiest day, getting married, and all the love that God, and then all the think pieces is going on. He don't really love her.
And what I wanted to say, because I wanted to celebrate you for putting yourself out there, because that is not easy, especially when people always have something to say. But to what you're saying, babe, I just want everyone to remember, whatever seeds you plant, you will reap a harvest. So whatever is not working in your life, I want you to think about what you are saying to others, what you are sowing under the comments of their profiles, because they are not on your page doing the same. And I want us to walk in that level of whatever you're seeking in life, right? You're also thinking about the seeds that you are watering, because when your life is falling apart, I want you to ask yourself, wow, was I one of those people that was making someone feel bad about themselves, or by attacking them on something when they were trying to share their heart with the world? I mean, I think that fewer things are as low. And I just want you to know, if you ever come for my page with it, you will find yourself blocked.
Yeah, Ashley's in the block ministry. She be blocking people all day.
Yeah. And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
I say I use the block feature for his glory. Like he designed it and I'm going to use it for his glory. Because
it really is. It really is.
For his glory.
Yeah.
You're doing the work of the Lord. You're doing the work of the Lord.
Amen.
Because it's one of two things. I either block you or you catch these hands. So, right hand of fellowship. I promise
Which
you.
one do you want?
Here's the thing. I really want y'all to watch part 33 and part
34.
Part 33 and 34.
Yes.
The day he got kicked out. And you gonna see a different side. You're gonna be like, is that the same Reesa that was sitting? It is. He has made me new. Because I almost went to jail.
You almost went to jail.
I wouldn't
all
have had
things
this hair.
pass away. All things become
and
new.
Behold, he almost saw his maker. And I was waiting for Clayton County to come get me.
You was waiting.
Because I described the scene from Waiting to Exhale with Angela Bassett. I was looking at everything I was going to pick up. And I talked about in the series, I said the dresser. And people were like, the dresser? Honey. God is good.
Yes, he is.
All the time.
All the time.
Oh, God.
He's good. And that's where people saw like my sense of humor. But I said in that video, and I still stand on it, had it not been for the blood.
Yeah.
And I said it on that 50-part series. And some people were like, bless their heart. Some of them didn't know. Yeah. But the people who knew were in comments like, honey, I know what she's talking about. I've been there. Mm-hmm. I was like, had it not been for the blood, y'all don't understand. I clearly saw a vision.
Yes.
Turn to the side. Turn face forward, holding it. Like, I saw it.
Instead of holding the book.
Because that man had one more. He had one more time to lie in my face, and it exploded. So yeah, 33 and 34. 33
and 34. The TikTok series. And it's easier to watch now because you put in the series on TikTok where you can just scroll through it.
It's on my playlist on TikTok and it's on YouTube. Like the whole thing is on YouTube where you can just...
Is that on your page or somebody else's page?
It's on my page and it's on other pages, yeah.
All right, because I want to see it on your page.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people done got it and stitched them all together and made it on your...
I know.
So listen.
And they pay me every month.
Amen. There it is. Listen, I want y'all to get this book. But what I love about the book is the very last few pages. Y'all know at the end of Dear Future Wifey, I would write a letter to my future wifey. And Ashley, she wrote a letter to her future husband the year before I met her. And she read it on her birthday to me. And I had just taken her on our first date on the March the 18th.
Okay.
And she had share your story about what the letter entailed.
Well, when I wrote the letter, I was writing to my future self, and I was speaking to who was going to be in front of me in the next 365 days, which I didn't see anyone in front of me that could have been this person. So I was saying it by faith. And when I opened the letter to read to myself, the self that I was thinking I was going to be in 2025, I said, I need to read this letter to you, which I thought like, oh, this is super intimate. I don't know if I really want to share it with him. But I said, you are everything that I said
put in the letter.
Like that God was going to bring to me. Like I was like, I need to submit to the man that's in front of me. He's going to love me. He's going to cover me. He's going to love Christ as Christ loved the church. Like
she getting triggered. She getting triggered. See, she get triggered on stuff like that. She's like, hold on.
Yeah, but this was
because I think that that's very, very powerful though to write it out exactly what it is you want. And I'm gonna do that because I told y'all I did something like that, but I'm gonna do that. Not today, but I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna DM you.
Yes.
I'm gonna be like, I took myself out on a dinner date.
Yes.
And at that dinner date, I was sat down and I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to myself in the book, but what you're describing is something even more.
It's outside
profound.
of you.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling y'all is that after y'all read the book, I'm encouraging you to write a letter to your future self. And that's what this chapter is called, a love letter from my future self. Matter of fact, a love letter from your future self. I want you to write that to yourself.
Yeah.
Because I believe that reading this book is going to take you through a healing journey. It's going to reveal some things in your own life that you may have buried. Stuff that you said, I ain't going to tell a soul that I went through that. And as you start reading this, it's going to start uncovering some things that you buried in your own life. This book may present some triggers in your life where you go, oh my God, why does this bother me? And you're going to be tempted to put this book down and not pick it back up. But pick it back up and read it. Get through it. Push through it. So at the end of it, you can get to the end and write a love letter to your future self. And I want you to DM her and tell her how the book touched your life, how the book changed your life, how the book inspired you, how the book showed you blind spots in your life that you need to go ahead and correct and fix, and that you can become a better person. So that's what I want you to do. So make sure that you get this book, pre-order this book. And let me tell you, the first week that the book comes out is extremely important, because that's how the New York Times bestseller list is formed. They look at all the pre-sales, the pre-orders, and they look at their first week of sales, because all the pre-orders count for the first week of sales, and it can show big numbers and get Reesa on the New York Times bestseller list, just like the Robin Roberts got. Because Robin Roberts is a New York Times bestselling author, and she has endorsed this book. Matter of fact, she says, Reesa Teesa's online story captivated the world, and this book will do the same. Robin Roberts. So make sure you get this book. Here's the part of the, did I do a good job promoting your book?
You did.
All right, there it is. Make sure you give me $5.50.
Okay.
All right, good.
Can I zell it?
Yeah, zell
Give it to you in quarters.
Yeah,
okay,
give me quarters.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like I got a lot of money.
Got a food stamp card.
Yeah. Oh, now double. So there's a food stamp. I need $10.50.
Okay, cool.
Because you know the rules with food stamps.
Yeah,
it's double.
yeah.
It's double on the dollar.
Amen. Quarters will make it look like you have a
more
lot of money. Not quarters.
I'll be walking. When I was a little kid, that's what I want. You be wanting a lot. You get a dollar and break it down to 4 quarters. You thought you had more money.
Because you used to be able to buy something with quarters.
Now
you ain't got nothing.
They're like, what is a quarter?
What is a quarter gonna get? They trying to get rid of pennies. That's messed up. They trying to get that out of our currency, out the treasury as pennies. Grab the box there, if you would, Sister Reesa Teesa. Grab a pen, and it's a marker inside the box, and there's a key that has love on it. I want you to grab that particular key, because I put that key specifically for you. So I want you to write a key to love. It can be a word, it can be a sentence, it can be a statement. Just what would you like to leave with our audience as you put on the key to love wall, and make sure you sign your name. Ashley, what you think about this episode?
I just felt like her authenticity is so, it's so difficult to be that vulnerable and honest, and just to even to say, like, I was this age, I was factoring in all of these things. Like, I sort of willed myself into this situation. So many people would run from that level of transparency.
Yeah.
But they would attack someone else who is that transparent. And so I feel really inspired by her. I also just feel like her sharing that she's not quite ready. But that she's on this journey to be ready, because as I was listening, I just felt God saying that her suddenly is on the way.
Yes.
And I was trying to imagine her right now, but I was like, she's going to come back with her husband.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
and she's going to sit.
No, that wasn't a laugh of, that genuinely was not a, yeah, right laugh. That is really how things sometimes work out. Laugh. And it's like, man, y'all can if it happens, y'all can make fun of me so bad. But y'all will have to take me to a nice steak dinner here in Dallas.
I'm going to feed you.
And
we're going to roast you, though. We're going to roast you.
I'm going to take it, but I'm going to eat.
I don't care. See, you understand, me and Ashley like to eat.
Yes.
Yeah, we eat.
We do.
Yeah.
We're eaters, as I said on social media.
Yeah, we like to eat. We're going to roast you on the yellow couch, and then we're going to feed you.
Yeah.
We're going to feed you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
But I had this vision of her coming back with her husband, and just God saying, "I told you I would fulfill that promise."
Yes.
And so I just said I wasn't gonna say it, but then you asked me what I was thinking, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna say."
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I had the same moment. But then I'm trying to. So in my brain, I've been already here writing your series in my head, because you don't know, my background is I'm a national playwright, director, and producer.
Okay.
So I used to tour shows across the country, major plays, major celebrities, and plays and stuff like that. And so as I was hearing you talk, I started formulating the plot and the story or whatnot, and it's so great. But then I circled outside of the TV show and then brought it back to your story and said, it's going to be so joyful to see the redemption story.
Yeah.
To know that, and I believe it's going to happen like you're already comfortable with a friend. When I tell you I believe in, people hear me on the podcast say from friend to fiance, I really believe in that because there's so much safety in friendship and there's no ulterior motives. It's just like, oh, we tripping out, we laughing. Next thing you know, it's like, you know what?
Man, how did we end up married with 2 kids?
Yeah.
Can you go fill up the car with gas?
Just like that.
I gotta go to Costco.
Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. And I hear the Lord saying that he's going to restore the years the cankerworm stole from you. That all the pain, all the tears, I mean, the tears that you shed going through this journey could probably fill up the Hudson River. Yeah. But the reality is that God said, I bottled it all up so that I can remind you of this moment and say, when the next time it happens, you're going to say, it was nobody but God.
Yeah.
And that's going to be beautiful. What you write in your key to love?
Transparency.
That's one word.
Yeah.
Why is transparency so important? Why you choose that word?
Because I feel like I've been learning honesty is one thing, but I want someone who is very transparent, not only in who they are, but just in how we deal with each other. Because I feel like honesty is, hey, where were you tonight? He honestly will say, oh, I went to the gym after work. I feel like sometimes, and I could be wrong, so people send me a DM if I'm wrong, but I feel like transparency is, hey, babe, after work, I'm going to go to the gym and then I'm going to be home. I'm going to text you when I get there. I'm going to do about an hour and then I'm going to head home. What do you need me to do on the way home? It's a difference. And because of what I have experienced before, I now understand the difference. Honesty is beautiful. And I want that. I just feel like transparency, honest transparency, which I probably should have put honest transparency. Honest transparency is a step above. And that's something that I want in love. And that's what I believe is one of the keys to love.
So this is what I said in the first couple of series of Dear Future Wifey, the first seasons, if you would. I said, honesty is telling the truth when asked a question. Transparency is telling me what I don't even know to ask. I desire transparency for my future wifey. And that is so important. And you hit the nail on the head, is that tell me what I don't even know to ask. Yeah. Give me that. I don't want to have to try to find out because I dealt with a person in the past that you had to find the right way to ask the question in order to get the answer. Because you can ask a question and then you find out they lied and then you be like, they're like, well, you didn't ask me that. Yeah, exactly. You know what I was trying to ask. Yeah. You got to ask the question the right way in order to get the right answer. And I said, I want transparency. Before we let you go, how'd you feel doing this conversation?
This was really one of the best ones, if not the best. I can say that this was good. This was. It felt more home-like than it did, and you did say it was not going to be an interview. Yeah. So I appreciate that, and I'm happy for the two of you because I'll just be honest. I love seeing people who at one point they weren't together, like you weren't with someone, and it has worked out. Yeah. And because it looks to people like me like hope. You know what I mean? And so I'm happy. Like I really am like, congratulations on your happily ever after.
You said you watched the wedding. Why did you choose to watch it?
I love weddings. And she looked beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you were okay.
Yeah, okay. I tried.
That's my new friend.
But she looked like he know he got a prize. and it was beautiful. And it was all over my social media. So I was like, he got married.
Yeah.
Okay. Truth be told, I had asked him, were you the lady whose wig fell off? Because y'all look similar. And I wasn't sure. So he was like, no. I was like, okay, cool. And let me just tell you that
I walked out the room.
I initially thought, I was like, was that her? Because if it was, I was going to ask, how did you recover from that happening? But he was like, no, that was a different one. I was like, okay, cool. So let's just move forward. But either way, I was like, they look similar, and I didn't know the names. So
her name is Whitney, and we were just with her in Nashville
a couple of days ago. Her and D'Angelo we had lunch with them. Yeah. And so you can watch a wedding without feeling any animosity. You find hope.
Yes. That's good. So So the journey is I can watch a wedding without feeling any animosity. There's things that are being repaired in the feelings. Transparent and being authentic and being real, it's hard to see baby showers. So there's still work.
Yeah.
But it's not like I burst into tears. It's just it's a nudge. Yeah. And so I believe with time heals.
Yeah.
And it reveals. And so all of those things. Yeah, I can celebrate love, and I can celebrate two people who I've never met before getting married, especially when you know a little bit of the story to know this was a journey, and this man was made healthy for her, which is something I want. And I talk about how I want to be healthy, so when I do meet the right guy, I can receive and appreciate him.
That's good.
Because I don't want to bleed on someone that didn't cut me.
That's real.
And so, yeah, it's hopeful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hopeful. So
that's good. That's why we hashtag our wedding. This is for all of us. You're farther along in your healing journey than you may give yourself credit for.
Okay.
Because it's not a trigger.
But they only, those friends out there, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Said, don't y'all get no hope.
God did not tell you to get in that HOV. Whether you need two people in the car, he did not tell you that. So stay in your lane.
She said he didn't tell you get the HOV.
He didn't tell you.
HOV.
He didn't tell you.
Stay
It's hilarious.
This is hilarious.
Y'all gonna have me back because at this point, if you know, I still say if and when. But it's like there's so much. There's so much crow that I got you.
Okay.
There's so much crow I have to eat that it's only right for you to have me back.
Yes.
And then play the clips, and I'm just sitting here.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Run that back.
Run it back. I'm talking about. And when we last left, we saw Reesa Teesa say this. Take a look at this. It's gonna cut to that.
And I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm ordering that lobster tower. When we go to that restaurant, I'm gonna eat.
Watch him be in the HOV lane.
In the HOV lane. We're gonna be HOV lane.
Before the end of 2027, we're gonna be like, hey!
I'm like, look at it. She gonna be posting pictures. She thinking she like, wow.
You heard it first here. She's coming back.
She's coming back
with her future hubby.
People kept hearing me talk about this TV show, and I know you probably can't share much about it because it's still in the development phase. What can you share about it?
It's still in development. I did not know it take it. I didn't know it takes so long for television. Y'all, it takes years. It takes years. But we do have a showrunner. I'm hoping that we can announce the showrunner. The thing with television, the thing with entertainment, I know you know this, you cannot announce stuff before it is time for it to be announced because that will mess up your money. Yeah. So when people hear me say, oh, it's in development, and they're like, that's it, it's still in development. Honey, I can't say certain stuff until they tell me we are ready to announce what can be announced. And that is one of the hardest lessons because you want to put everything on social media. Yeah. And you can't. Yeah. Because it will null and void a contract so quick. But we are still in development. Natasha Rothwell is still on board. We do have a showrunner. I'm hoping we can announce that, specifically. Yeah. And we are very much still rocking and rolling. But yes, it takes a long time. So I'm excited to see that chapter, but I am learning to appreciate everything is within its time because this is now the book chapter. Like you had the chapter of the series and how amazing, life became. Now you got this book chapter and you're in a completely different headspace. You're in different spaces, meeting different people you wouldn't have met through TikTok. Like, they know who you are, but honestly, I wonder how our interview would have gone if I had been here in 2024 compared to now.
And what she's saying is because I DM'd her on TikTok in 2024.
You ain't got to do all that.
Because I had DM'd her. I'm gonna be extra. I had DM'd her on TikTok and I was like, because she was just blowing up. And I said, I definitely want to have her on. And I was like, this woman is amazing. So let me have her on. And she left me on red. It says, I would love to have you on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Give me a call. That was on what that say, Ashley? February 19th? 20, what time?
5:53
p.m. And then I did it again, 2 days later?
Yep, 2 days later.
What they say?
Give me a call.
Yep. That's what I said. Left me on red. See how they do you? Just leave you on red. She got 3.3 million followers. And so I was just...
But don't show that. That has your cell phone number.
They didn't see it. I didn't see that. I did show it.
Somebody will screenshot.
Zoomed in. I ain't showing that. And so, because I looked at it and I saw that. And then I tried to DM her on Instagram. And the message I got, let me show you what the message you get from Instagram. I'm real petty, Reesa.
Wow.
I'm petty. I'm so petty. Watch this. I'm going to show you what happens if you try to DM Reesa Teesa. Reesa Teesa. Is it Reesa Teesa on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. That's what happened. I put Reesa Teesa. I put Reesa Teesa. I was typing wrong.
Lord,
look. So if you DM her on that, see, I followed her, but it's saying you can't. Did you start following me? Did you start following me today?
Why did you just message her?
I messaged her, hey, because I tried to message her earlier and it said you cannot message her because she's not following you. So she's going to try to slip me. Did you start following me this morning?
I don't have my phone on me at this time.
That's what she did. Because I told that earlier. I told that earlier that I tried to see. She slipped.
Benson?
Yeah,
did I follow?
She slipped.
Did I
she
follow?
Gonna do that. Yeah, I tried to DM her this morning and said you cannot message this person because they are not following you back. Yes. So
it's going to be rectified.
It is, and it has been. Amen.
Amen.
But listen, we celebrate your success. We thank God for all that he's doing in your life, and keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
And one thing that I like about you, still just a Southern girl. You still just real humble and real chill, and none of this stuff has really gone to your head, right?
I don't know. Because remember I told you, is my water ready? Did you take out my brown M&Ms?
We went and got your special order.
My special drink from Starbucks.
Yes.
Was it chilled at a 16-degree Fahrenheit?
We're going to do
Is
that.
my call outside? Now I will tell you, I sometimes at work do talk about myself in the third person. At work, when I saw that I had 2 Wikipedia pages, I said, Tareasa is not doing work today. I called my mother. I was like, Tareasa is not taking phone calls. If you need me, speak to my manager.
You got 2 Wikipedia pages?
I do. One under Reesa Teesa and one under Who the F Did I Marry? And when I saw it, I was like, oh
I've arrived.
I have. And Beyonce knows my name. I talk in fake British accents. It is the level of audacity.
She said,
Michelle Obama.
Talk about myself in
she
third
said,
person.
when they go low, we go high. I was like, yes, auntie, because she knows my name.
She knows my name.
And because she knows my name, that means that Uncle Barack knows my name.
He knows your name. That's your people.
And yeah.
That's
so sometimes
good.
I do have moments where I'm just like, I told my boss, he called me for something, y'all. I ain't got no sense. And I said, I thought somebody that ain't got 2 Wikipedia pages said something. He was like, what? I said, oh, my bad.
Reesa, do you like that job?
She said, I thought somebody that don't have 2 Wikipedia pages said something.
He was like, I need you to book. I said, I don't book. I arrive.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yes, I do have moments. And that's why I travel with who I travel with, who very quickly would be like, if you don't sit your money down, ain't nobody studying no Reesa Teesa.
Tareasa.
Get in the car.
Tareasa, get in the car.
Go sit down somewhere.
Go sit down.
Get somewhere and sit down.
Wait till Monday. You better have my coffee. Yeah.
Oh my God. Why do you still work? Why do you still have a 9 to 5? Because most people that are, do you even consider yourself an influencer? Do you consider yourself a content creator?
No.
Why not?
Because first off, I don't really think I influence, and I barely be making content. Like, I make what I feel like making. Content creators, I think that is their full-time job. That ain't my full-time job.
So when you was talking about, I know you debunked some stuff where people think you made millions of dollars off of your TikTok series. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that?
Mm-hmm. I'm on auto pay. God is good. But I keep my 9 to 5 because social media is fickle. Yeah, I am. I told Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts I was on auto pay and yep. But when it comes to things like health, dental, 401k, you're not getting that from TikTok. And again, at the age I'm at, social media is fickle. This economy is fickle.
Sure is.
I'm not leaving my job until I absolutely have to. It is the most normal thing in my life, and I appreciate the normal coworkers, the boss. I know when I get paid. I know I gotta have command staff meeting on Monday. I know that I'm on PT. It's the weekend. That's why we're having this, and I'll be back to work Monday. I had to take off for the book tour. I'm okay with that. It's normal. It's normal because I live a very, it ain't easy when people are like, Reesa? You know what I mean? Because in a way you got to always feel like you're on. Yep. Yeah. You got to be very mindful of how you treat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. There's nothing wrong with how I treat people, but I can't cuss out somebody because they messed up my order. I got to just.
Let me tell y'all something. Story time. Reesa Teesa done cuss me out.
And see, you got to be careful how you act in public because people do videotape you. Yeah. Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And so work is really a place where I'm like, man, if you don't leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
I am able to just be me. I'm able to be funny. I don't have to be on.
Yeah.
I'm safe when I'm there because everybody got a gun.
Yeah.
And and I'm able to, I go to work to change my hair. I'm like, listen, my hair and I are here. What do you need? I'm working from 10 to 2. Then I'm on my 15-minute break every hour on the hour. What do you need?
15-minute break every hour.
Yep. And if my coworkers see this, they're going to be like, she's always on her 15-minute break.
He said every hour.
The big boss will walk by. Tareasa, what you working on? I'm like, Reesa Teesa. He's like, well, I need Reesa Teesa to not be here. I was like, I thought somebody that didn't have 2 Wikipedia pages said something. And one day I hit him with, I thought somebody who Michelle Obama don't know said something. And he just was like, girl.
Since we're talking about Mrs. Obama so much, y'all should come on the podcast.
Yes. Please. I beg you. Yes. Please. I would love to have y'all on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. President and First Lady.
Yes.
Please. Y'all are amazing.
Did you hear how I said yes as if I'm going to be your part-time sound engineer that day? I'm going to come back.
You'll come back.
Yes. Yeah. You'll come back.
Of course you'll come back.
Of course you'll come back.
Yes.
This just hit me and then we're going to let you go because this interview is already about 2 hours and 30 minutes, probably 27 minutes right now. But listen, this is what's so amazing about this. You said prior to meeting Legion, you couldn't even get your toenails done, your hair done, and still pay your bills or whatever.
You did not have to repeat that.
No, because I think that this is a powerful story.
Yeah, but there was a better way to sell that
But
story.
That's what you said. I'm just quoting you.
Yeah, see.
And then now here you are on auto pay.
Yeah.
That God allowed that story to put you in a financial situation to where you ain't struggling. That you ain't worried about nothing. That you like, I'm good. And you working because you decide to.
It is a different struggle though. Because with more money comes more responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah. None of y'all warned me about that.
But the reality is this.
Yeah. You're even in the position.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And now you have a position to do more and to have at least a level of peace and comfort in this area. Mm-hmm. And of course, higher levels are higher devils and different responsibilities. That level of stuff that God be like, I got you though. You see what I did there?
Because I was on a payment arrangement with Georgia Power. A lot. A lot. I don't have Georgia Power anymore, but I was on a payment arrangement. Like I felt successful so we get paid every 2 weeks. If I felt like I was touching the hem of his garment before payday. So you know how people say they live paycheck to paycheck. I was living paycheck to pay. Like I wasn't even at a full paycheck. Like because I would feel so happy that I would check my account and it was like positive $1.12. But tomorrow payday.
Been there, boy.
Like
been there.
Balling.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when I was paying so much money to Bank of America and overdraft fees. And then I got on this earning app and I was taking money from next paycheck. It was a whole thing. Wow. So it is a testimony.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the beauty of it all. That after all the tears, all that stuff settles, God said, but I still took care of you.
Yeah.
And I still got you. And I put you in a better position financially than you were before you started.
Yeah. And I'll say this. He has not tried to contact me directly. There have been times where something was sent to me. And I'm like, based on how you spell there, and there. My spirit is telling me. I think I know who sent that. And the reason why I say that is because as far as I know, no, he has not contacted me. But this is someone who has created number of fictitious social media pages. So it's like, I'm like, you still don't know your grammar. So on a date, ladies, ask a guy, what's the difference between there, and there? The right man's going to know the difference between all three and be able to spell them and give you examples. And if he can't, we're going to go ahead and end this date.
That can't be something you can work with him on.
No, that's like when one time this guy I said I had a bachelor's degree and this is a real.
You're not about to say what I'm thinking. Go ahead and say it.
It's a real story. He was like, for real? And I said, yeah, I got a bachelor's degree. And he was like, how? Me being me, I was like, I worked for it. What do you mean? He was like, but I thought bachelors were for men. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those clips where the voiceover says it was in that moment she knew she effed up. Yep.
Bachelors.
A bachelor's. He was like, I thought that was only for like single men. True story. This was so for the people who were like, when did this happen? This was long before Legion. But it's just the fact that I hear the dating stories out there and I'm just like, it's ghetto.
I said, I hope she ain't been to say what I think she's
I said it.
And she said it.
I said it. There are dating stories. I went on a date with a guy years and years and years ago who was like, why you want to travel? Like, that's so lame. Everything I want to do is in the United States. Everything I want to do is in the United States. And I was like, okay, what's wrong with that? He was like, but why you want to go overseas? I was like, because there's a big world out there. Like, what do you mean?
Saint Tropez.
Come to find out, he couldn't get a passport.
That's why.
Why can't you get a passport? He's like, because you feel me? Like, I'm a CF. What is a CF? Construction foreman? Like, what you mean? He was like, no,
a convicted felon.
A convicted felon. Only for me to end up marrying one and had no idea. Oh, you started laughing real. I saw that. You was about to holler and then you swallowed the laugh back in. Cause you like, wait a second. I shouldn't laugh at that. Yeah. So on top of everything, the whipped cream on the sundae, he had a whole criminal history. And here I am working in law enforcement, had no idea. That was the last background check thing that I did was his criminal history.
God,
ladies, run that criminal history.
God, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. You feel good. You know what? Y'all are like, we might need to watch this 50-part series.
Because that's a lot. And that was all in about a year?
Yeah. From March,
marriage.
Yeah. March 2020. March of 2020
to January
till August of 2021. So August is the last time I saw him.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like the final divorce decree was August 2021.
Okay, you went all the way from the beginning first day to
until the last time that I saw you. Yeah. Now do y'all get it now?
Yeah, we get it. We get it. But I understand why everybody was in the chokehold. When did you take this photo?
Where?
When? What year did you take this?
2025.
So when you look at this version of you and you look at this woman, what do you see?
You really want me to answer that?
Yeah.
I'm like, that hair is laid. Okay. I'll be for real.
And
so when I see that, I'm just like, I remember thinking, I can't believe I'm taking a picture for my book cover.
Wow.
I cannot believe I'm taking a picture for my book cover. Like, what? Okay, I did, and I was very, very adamant. I wanted it to look still like me. I didn't want to be cheesy because the book is not cheesy. So I didn't want it to look, too depressed,
glamour, too
humor. I wanted it to look like, let's sit down and have a conversation. Homegirl to homegirl, or homegirl, homeboy, whatever. And so when I look at that, I'm like, I remember being like, I cannot believe I'm in New York to take a picture to shoot my cover photo.
You shot your cover in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, I did.
That's amazing. Well, Reesa Teesa, may the love you share today outlive the season you're in.
May it carry you through the days when words are few and faith has to do the talking.
Y'all give it up for Tareasa Johnson, y'all.
How long did it synchronize?
Ladarian, thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, Black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, Black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While Ladarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our Black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, Ladarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young Black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical contexts, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm Laterras R. Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving. Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.